Hello, welcome back into our finale for our Tuesday Dragon Age campaign. I'm excited to see what everybody does tonight. Before we jump in, I have a few words to say about our sponsors, and then I will pass it on over to Matt to do our intros. So our sponsors are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so it's very easy to use it for high fantasy or sci-fi or anything in between that you would like to play. You can pick up physical copies on Amazon, or if you prefer PDFs, you can pick that up at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled at the bottom and at the top left corner of the screen. Also, go check out Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can check their stuff out at dieharddice.com. If you use the code ANIMUS, currently until the 20th, normally it's 10% off, but until the 20th, you can get 15% off if you use the code ANIMUS with a capital A. And then I highly recommend checking out the Avalor Lifeblood set. There's a link straight to those in chat. I absolutely love the Avalor design, and the Lifeblood set has these really cool red numbers with crystal clear dice. It's very, very cool. So definitely go check that out. And then if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have or have had on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network or over on our YouTube channel. Just search for Black Feather Guild on YouTube. It should pop right up, and you'll want to be sure to subscribe because next season, starting in January, we'll have 2 YouTube exclusive streams over there. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on those. And I think that's everything. So I will pass it on to Matt to do intros and take it away.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the finale of the Tuesday Night Dragon Age game. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Things are going to get buck wild tonight. We're going to go around and give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and their characters. And we're going to start with Pat. Hello.
Hi. Sorry. Perfect time to cough. I'm Pat. I'm also a Tactric on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and places online. I play tabletop role-playing games and video games, places like here and on my channel. And tonight I'm playing Calix. Calix is a Navaran Mortalitasi mage, essentially like apprentice necromancer, very much like inside, hang out with dead bodies boy. But now we're outside, and we've been outside for a long time, and we're about to go into a hole with some dude named the Prophet and a whole big brainwashed army he's got, and a Titan that something bad is happening with.
It's fine. It's fine. Next up, we have Anna. Hello.
Hello, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. Queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer / podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun. And I play Mariana de la Morte, our Percival rogue, who is a member of the House of Crows, and is currently facing down her sister, who I am not scared to death at all to fight. No, this should be good. This will be great.
It's fine. Next up, we have Icy Historian. Hello.
Hello to you, and hello to all of you out there in Twitch land. My name is Icy Historian at Icy Historian, all the places I feel like being found. I do things on channels, and tonight I'm doing this thing on this channel. I'm playing Isala Polonius, a Tevinter Altus, who I think has had it about up to here with the hubris of some of her fellow magic wielding folk, namely the one in the hole. I think Isala's a little sick of it. So yeah, she's ready to rumble. We're ready to go.
Delightful. I'm very excited. Next up, we have Rafiki. Hello.
Hello. So here, everything is going to be fine tonight.
It's
After
fine.
this, it's going to be like a journey to the mall and all. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rafiki. I'm a TTRPG streamer here and over at the Jarker, or wherever people want to see my face. I'm also a musician, engineer, sound person over at Raven Skull Production. And tonight, as the previous nights, I will be playing here as Atron of Elwood, a Dalish elf traveling with a bunch of Shem, wondering what did he get himself into.
It's fine. Nothing's Nothing is bad. No. Next up we have Nikki. Hello.
Hi, I'm JPot7575 on Twitter and here, and I play Valentina, baby mage, who is learning more about her powers just in time, apparently.
It's what better time than when you're about to face down a boss?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine. You get it. And I am Matt, content creator of various stripes. I play everybody else, which mostly today means the subject of everyone else's anxiety and ire. So that's exciting for us all. When last we left our intrepid crew, they had just turned around and found themselves face to face with Mariana's sister, two other crows, and a mage who seems to be controlling them with a little fragment of a horn held between his hands. And also the ritual that's keeping everyone mind controlled is happening on the other side of the hole from Mill. So this is all fine. What are y'all doing? How y'all dealing with this? What
Oh,
y'all
we're
wanna
just-
do?
We're just going.
Oh, we just diving in. All right.
So from where we are, can we see
Wait,
the ritual
what?
at all?
The actual ritual, no. The magic people, and I think specifically Asala was the one who like focused in on it. Knows that it's on the other side of the hole. from
Okay.
you, in one of those tents over there.
But us non-magical folk have no clue. Okay.
Yeah, for you, you would, based on the information you have, it would not be out of order for y'all to assume that the little bit of horn that the mage is like magicking in between his hands is probably doing something.
Yeah.
and this is us in a cluster, big old hole in the ground, mage messing around with the horn on the opposite side.
So hole in the ground, y'all are clustered. Behind y'all showed up the crows with their own mage babysitting them. Other side of the hole, ritual that y'all have not seen but know about.
Okay.
We are in a whole and angry crows sandwich.
Yes.
Great.
And
Love it.
and Major Palooza, apparently. All of these
Yeah.
mages around.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
How far across is the hole again? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, it's a big hole.
I thought it was.
It's a big. There's a lot of people in it right now. It's a big hole. Quite large.
Okay.
Football field?
Okay.
We'll go football field.
More than 10 yards was my question. I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining a giant mosh pit for some reason.
Not incorrect, but the moshing is happening way below you.
I had one last question,
Yeah.
which is normal, like, fall damage is a thing, right? It's not like an Inquisition where you can just walk off of roofs and be fine. Like
It's
gravity
canon
exists.
though.
Are you asking if gravity works?
Wait.
Like, can I
What?
just walk in the hole?
Well, I
and
mean,
then take my-
BioWare didn't ask that question.
Wait.
To be fair.
Wait, you should crowd surf.
Hold on. Now I actually need to go check.
Well, I mean, if he's crowd surfing, then he could jump down and people can catch him.
I feel like
Like,
that
I
goes
assume
very
no fall
poorly
damage is
for
Inquisitor
Calyx.
power or some shit.
Yeah, they would probably just step aside and just look at him fall. I'm going to assume that fall damage is a thing
Yeah. Okay.
because I can't imagine it not being. I have to assume the people who made this game thought about things more than BioWare did.
I would assume so, right?
I would hope.
That's a hot take.
You know, I gotta get one in every time. So let's assume fall damage is a thing for right
Okay.
now. I will go find it. Well, there's flying combat as a thing, so presumably falling would hurt you.
It's cool. I was just trying to think of the fastest way down the hole. It's fine.
I mean, it is the fastest way.
That is a fast way. Yes. I will tell you, because you can just look in the hole and see this. They've got those like earthen ramps that go down, like that spiral around the inside all the way down. So there are ways down the hole that aren't necessarily suicidal.
Look, the mage do what the mage does. What? So,
There's always a chance the mage could have some sort of magic. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
we don't know. You don't know if Callus can fly or not. He hasn't tried yet. The mage with the horn, or fragment of horn. Human, elvish.
Human.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna draw my weapon and just point at him. I don't want to kill you, but
Yeah, I'm holding one of my hands up to Raina, my sister. Raina, we don't have to do this.
She just kind of cocks her head at you and doesn't say anything back. The mage goes, "Yeah, I know you don't. I have crows. They're gonna be the ones doing the hurting."
Yeah. I'm going to take a breath like I'm going to say something else. And then I've always been larger than my sister. I'm going to shoulder check her on my way to the mage.
All right. Let's do a strength test.
That was more for flavor, but
Okay. Then just do a dex check. Just let's see what you get on a dex roll to get by her.
acrobatics?
Sure, that seems right.
21.
Son of a. It's already started. It's already
Yep.
started. There's so many stump points on that.
she's on the way to murder.
Yeah, she's gonna go kill a freaking mage.
Does this count as my attack since it's part of me moving to attack?
Yeah, why not? We can
Cool.
put that onto the attack stuff. Sure.
Ah. Okay, yeah. Going after this, okay, going after this mage. It's first stealth versus perception. And for backstab,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in front of him. That seems stupid. I can do bluff instead if you want.
Oh, do your new thing. Do your new
Yes.
thing.
Look at the bunny. Stab.
I'm going to almost shout like I'm attacking Raina, and then push past her after him. So this is, let me check. It's my persuasion versus willpower, self-discipline.
Okay.
Oof. Wait, that didn't roll everything. Nope. That should be an 18 for me.
An 18. Okay.
Not a
Let
great
me
roll.
find this idiot's stats. Hop-a-dap-a-doop-a-dap. In the category of things that I wish they had done better in this GM's book, stats, stat blocks, more of them would be lovely. All right, we're gonna make it up. That works. And by that I mean I'm going to actually check on some other resources. Don't worry about it. Doop-a-dap-a-doop. So this is versus willpower.
Yeah, self-discipline if he has it.
Cool. He doesn't. All right. So you got 12.
Cool, he falls for my bluff. Okay, so I get to backstab him. So I get a plus. Let me remind myself. A +2 to my attack. So I will attack first, and then I'll use my stun points.
Okay.
Yeah. So I shoulder check my sister and push past that. Why is this not working anymore? That is a 16, 18 total.
This is your attack roll?
Yeah, to attack.
That will absolutely hit him.
Okay. So that hits. So stunt points. I am using 2 for pierce armor,
Good.
2 for envenom, and 2 for disarm.
Okay.
I'm going to cut into him and try and smack the horn away as I pull up. So first I need, or let's do disarm first. It's an opposed attack roll. So he has to make a physical attack roll against a physical attack roll from me to try and hold on to the horn fragment.
So that's going to go poorly for him, but sure.
Let me see if I can figure out what is wrong with
He
this.
got a 6.
I don't know why. Got a 6. I don't think I can roll that low.
Probably not.
No,
You're
my
designed
bonus,
to do
my
this.
bonus is +6.
It's, yet just don't crit fail. Really.
See, it's not doing it. 13
Well, you didn't crit fail.
plus
So
3 is 15 plus 4 is 19.
yeah, you beat him. That bone shard is going to go flying.
Cool.
We'll deal with that in a second.
Now in Venom, I need a save from him.
Oh no.
And I need to move to the other part of the rule book where this other stunt point is from. Sorry, where's my poison? I need a TN 15, Constitution, Stamina, or Drinking.
Hey, that's probably not going to do great things for him. You got an 11?
Cool. Roll a
How's that?
d6 for me.
Oh boy. Wait, why have the tides turned in this conversation? Now you're
You're
making all the
rogue.
calls. Now you're the GM. He got a 4. We haven't even gotten to damage yet. There's good odds this boy's
We
dead.
haven't even gotten to damage yet. Okay, so with my Venom, the Deathroot extract that I coated my blades in last session enters his
Uh-huh.
bloodstream and he
Good.
fails. So what you rolled with the 4 was the sky, the hideous sky. The character believes that some malign creature from the sky is about to carry them off, or for dwarves, they're about to fall into the sky. The character spends their next turn dropping their weapons and grabbing something solid.
Neat. This is gonna cool. Let's see if you actually kill him. If we even have to worry about this. I kind of hope you do. He needs a break. This poor boy. He just wants to take over the world. And
10 points of damage.
okay, well, he's still alive, so he gets to suffer now. That's delightful. Okay, let's everybody know we need to deal with a couple more things. First off, we're going to give everybody a surprise round, a surprise action if you want to take it. You do not have to. I will tell you, for anyone who may be interested, that bone fragment is in the air and is heading towards your party in general. So if someone wants to do something about that, that can be part of your surprise action. Down the list as far as I can see them in the Zoom meeting. So, Atrian, do you have a surprise round action you want to take?
Well, knowing that, demon parts are not something you want to touch just freely, because shit usually goes wrong with that, right?
Sure.
But I don't want anybody to reach it either. Would there be a way for me to knock it away by, shooting at it?
Yes. Yes, you
I mean,
can.
I already have an arrow notch, so
Yeah, you absolutely can.
I mean,
If
what's
you
the
want to
what's
take a
the
shot
armor
at it,
for piece of demon, right?
it is presumably a piece of the archdemon horn that they're using for the ritual writ large. Yes.
Yeah, so that's a 16.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me. Don't get a 1. Cool. All right, so it flings this bone to one side. It like y'all can just vaguely hear it like land on a tent and roll a little bit. The way y'all are faced, if y'all are looking towards the crows, it went to the right.
Okay. And once that's done, as my mad action, I will just put another arrow in my bow and just, if somebody even twitch and go towards it, I will shoot.
Okay.
I mean, unless, it's my allies, then, I might not shoot. I mean, you don't know. I might just be on a Dale on a vendetta, like just here and brought the Shams just to murder them.
Well, hopefully I would at least have known about that. So, we're probably fine. Okay. Cool. Asala, did you have a surprise round action you wanted to do? This could be one of those magic checks you were talking about.
Yeah. I think that since Friendo seems out of commission for like a minute or two, Asala wants to do a quick check-in with the veil, or whatever we want to call it, the sort of web of magic that coats the world, and see what she can see about what spells he is either contributing to, what is being cast on him, what has he cast, what's he doing, so that we can break the control over these crows like as quickly as possible, even if it doesn't mean him dying yet.
Okay. Cool. Roll an Arcana. What do you have or a cunning? Do you have arcane lore and a cunning, or do you?
I have
something
arcane
special
lore
in
under
your
magic.
Yeah, do that for me.
I had a 14.
Yeah.
My channel of primal might won't do anything.
No, because I think this is not just a primal. You're not doing just a primal spell with this. Okay, you're gonna get stuff. You were focusing on the little mage that's up here, or on someone else? It was the
on
mage,
like
I
the
think.
little guy, because I
Cool.
kind of want to know, is he a pawn who has pawns? Where is he in the sort of MLM
Okay.
scheme of this? Like, what is he, like a diamond silver orca, or has he made it all the way up to like a golden fuzzy coach? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yeah. So he is definitely not the top dog. In as far as the org chart for the mages in this crew go, he's not up there. Like, he seems like he was probably barely trusted with this, and it was more like someone charged up the spell and then handed it off to him. It was like, go deal with whoever's here. Take these little crows and go deal with it. So really, he's not even the one who cast this spell. That's what you're able to get, is that this is like a fragment of the big ritual, but he didn't do it.
Great. Is that all I can do in this moment?
Yeah, for the
Okay.
surprise action.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. How far away am I from the part of the horn?
It's just around this tent off to your right hand side. You could probably get there in a movement.
Okay. I mean, I'm a ranged magic user anyway, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over in the direction of it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's totally chill. Calix, do you have anything you want to do in this surprise round?
Yeah. So Calix was kind of already vibing that, maybe this is sending our party's family at us, and this mage is a distraction to keep us from getting to what's going on. I'd kind of like to go to the edge of the hole and lean down and make contact with it, and he has no idea if he can even do this, but he's going to try and sing the name of the Titan.
Oh boy! Oh, we're just freaking going. This is great. Oh my god, how do we even? Okay, yes. Give me I guess you could use arcane lore for this. I guess because you kind of read it, you kind of understood it in magic terms.
Sure.
So you could definitely do like a cunning arcane lore check on this just to kind of see how well this goes for you.
How much Titan I picked up in my Titan 101 class that was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I think I've got some advantages, right? Can I use one of those advantages?
Sure. Roll it first and see if you need to. Yeah, you should probably roll and use an advantage. We can do better.
Listen, can we though? Because
Well,
we didn't.
We didn't.
we did not.
Okay, so with a 14, here's what we're gonna give you. There's a lot of magic happening in between you and the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
You're either not close enough or not loud enough. You're pretty certain, like, it's kind of hard to forget the name part of it. Like, it's just kind of part of you in a way now.
It's conveying the sound of tectonic plates moving. That's the actual hard part of that.
Yeah, so you're either not close enough to the Titan, there's too much interference between you, or you're not loud enough for the interference to get through the interference.
Okay.
So, very, very cool. All right, Valentina will pop back on here in a second, and we'll see what she is going to want to do. Okay. So while we're waiting for Valentina to pop back in, let's talk about the lay of the land. And in fact, I will let Mariana or Adrian do these observations if you'd like to. Either or both of you two, since y'all are the ones that are currently not distracted by other things. Either of y'all can give me just a general perception, no bonuses, just kind of general perception.
Just perception, not specifically seeing or anything.
Yeah, no specifics on this. Okay. The easy part of this, y'all both get out of this is y'all both get that as soon as, well, Atrian sees this a little bit more immediately. Mariana gets it a second later after she deals with the mage. The crows are kind of, it's like a string was snipped. They're just kind of like slumped and are not like up in like fighting position anymore. All right. All right, Valentina?
Yep.
What did you want to do for your surprise action?
Aim at the horn piece.
Okay. It has already flown kind of out of range from Atrian.
Okay.
So it flew off to y'all's right over a tent, and then Asala is moving to go retrieve it.
Okay.
Or destroy it. You can hold that, you can aim, you can hold that action in case something comes up. You can aim at somebody else. The mage is currently upright, he's about to not be. And the crows are all kind of looking like their strings were kind of cut. They kind of like all slumped as soon as the little fragment was out of the wizard's hands. And Calyx is looking down a hole.
What are the people in the pit doing?
You would have to move over to the hole and look down in there if you wanted to do that, which can totally be your action. You can just roll with Calyx if you want to.
You know what? I'll go ahead and do that. And,
Okay.
let the mage fall over by himself since he's already going to be done with.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be having a great day. All right, so you go over and you look down the hole. Basically, what you see down there is several layers down the spirally stoneworks ramp that goes all the way to the bottom. The entire bottom floor, outside of like a very cleared circle, is full of people. Mostly, they look like elves. There are a few other humans and dwarves scattered in there. Mostly, it's elves. Right around the main, like the circle area, you can kind of see the shape of the prophet, who's doing some stuff in the middle. And there are a couple of mage-looking people around him. They are doing something, and it's probably not great.
One question: are they in range?
Ooh.
Not the elves, but like the prophet and the mage people.
Ooh, of what spell? Like what range are we looking for?
That's a good question. I just assumed. Why is this? Sorry, I'm trying to load
Fine.
my sheet, and it's not liking me today. What about like something like Arcane Bolt?
Do we know what the range on the Arcane Bolt is?
I can give you that in a moment.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oops.
30 yards.
Yeah,
30 yards. It is not.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Because we established it's like 100 yards across.
Yeah, and it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's got to be real deep to get down to where it's at.
Oops.
And mathematics, that direction is probably longer than.
Yeah, I would love to give you a chance at it. I just don't know if I can actually. I don't know that I can justify how deep you would have to be able to get that thing.
Yeah. Thinking pretty deep.
Yeah.
Pretty big hole.
It's a pretty big hole. It's got a lot of people at the bottom. It's not great. Tell you what, Valentina, how about this? Give me a cunning. No, give me a magic check.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's get you some information in a more magical sense.
What did it give me? Let me see. Oh my! Why did it only roll? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No. So what?
Do I have an advantage? Do I still have an advantage?
I hope so.
I can't tell right now.
Your name says you do.
You
Okay.
do. Please do.
Okay.
I don't want to have to crit fail you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not a critical fail. So that's good. Okay, so with a 15, you're going to get something very specific out of this. There's a lot of magic happening down in that hole. Some of it is kind of the familiar control magic that the ritual up top here is doing. But there's something else going on down there. Something that your primal magic senses do not like. Like, there is a web of magic flowing from every single person down in that hole to the prophet.
Okay, I am going to just tell my everyone, my friends that we need to get the prophet. Because I'm going to tell them that.
Okay. Cool. We don't actually even have to go into initiative, which is really nice. Just the wizard drops to the ground, and just like grabs onto like a tree trunk nearby, and just like wraps himself around it, and is screaming about something with claws from the sky, and is not having a great day. And the crows are just kind of like, what?
Can I just coup de grace this
Yeah.
this mage?
Yeah. Yes, you
He's
can.
not technically dying or unconscious, but I feel like he's pretty close to it.
Yeah, you can.
I will I'll step over and do that just quickly, efficiently. I'll turn back and rush back to my sister and drop down in front of her and put my hands on her shoulder. Are you okay?
Oh, Mariana? Oh, wow, that hurt. What's going
I
on?
wrap her up in a hug.
She lets it happen. She's a little too out of it to kind of respond.
All right, we're trying to stop this. Do you know where they're controlling people at?
What? She kind of points across the circle, across the hole. Oh, that way. I think there's like a big fancy tent. They kept having us like do guard shifts on it.
Okay. You're in no shape to fight. Take these two. Go to the edge of the forest and wait for us.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can do that.
If we're not back there by morning, then just head back to Antiva.
I can go to the temple. And I just
Yes.
point general direction to where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll make a camp. Okay. Be safe. It's
Okay,
not good out here.
I'll give her another big hug.
She kind of returns it a little bit this time.
Looking back at the group. Okay. Let's profit first. Do we break the controls so that we don't have an army of people after us? What's the plan? I say looking mostly at the mages. Since this is magic.
Let's pause that real fast. Asala. Yeah, the little shard of bone has rolled off of the roof of the tent and onto the ground, where it's sitting looking totally innocent.
So, like, can I just get like a vibe check on this part of the bone?
You sure
Just
can.
like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not like nothing specific, but like, what is like wafting off of it? Like, is it doing the whole like wong wong? Is it what's happening?
Hey, yo, roll me a magic. Let's get just a feel for this. Yeah.
Sure. That's a 16.
It sure is. All right. This thing is, oh boy. It's not as strong as the whole horn of an archdemon would be, but you can understand real quick why it was able to fully control 3 crows. Like there's some juice coming out of this thing. And here's the really messed up part. It really wants you to pick it up.
Okay, so first things first. I am going to. I got stunt points.
Mm-hmm.
Are they on spell stunts? They're really not, though, are they?
We'll look. We've been really loose with our interpretation of stunt points.
Okay.
Tell me what you want to do, and we'll probably be okay with it.
So I kind of had invented like a way to make it work in case you said no, so that I could come up with my like argumentation, my PowerPoint presentation of why you should let me do the thing I'm about to say. I think that what Asala does is it's not so much like a what Calyx does with the sort of life drain, but I feel like this sort of being around this current of magic. I was going to use that. I cannot read the word with the PDF copy. Pusant, I don't know what that word is. Casting, where if you spend up to 3 stun points.
It's a French word. Puissant.
Yeah,
Yeah. They decided to just throw some French in there for some reason.
I was just gonna nod and
Yeah.
say yes.
It's Orlais, which is totally not France, guys. We promise.
Yeah.
But it's an Orlesian term, I'm sure. I was thinking, like, since I'm going to spend all 3 stun points, I could get +3 spell power on my next spell.
Yeah, go nuts.
So Asala sees that it really wants me to pick it up.
It
And-
really wants you to pick it up.
She's going to laugh at it. She's going to laugh at it as if it was a person. And is going to I don't know, like, I want to destroy it.
You want to just burn it to the ground?
Like literally, like art. Or I mean, she doesn't really want to touch it, so it's like stepping on it and crushing it, I don't think would happen, but like the non-combat equivalent of like
Okay.
no one gets it.
Okay. Roll me your attack roll for whatever your fire spell is going to be. Don't crit fail it. That's all I'm looking for here. If you crit fail it, we're going on a ride.
Sure. All right, Flame Blast. Oh, it actually, I get a +2 on that.
Oh, you critically succeeded.
Yes.
Tell me what happens here.
So
Because I have a nice little bonus I'm going to give you at the end. But tell me what
my God,
happens.
I love everything about this. So, Asala like is really angry because there's this like bastardization of magic that has happened like throughout this entire thing, and I think it's just really ground her gears if she has to be real honest about it. And I think just out of that like anger at the misuse of something that should be like treated as a gift and treated as like something to be respected and cared for and a part of the world and not a tool by which one can break it, she unleashes this like fire spell. And I think instead of the big blast, it's all of that like concentrated and in this like ball of like just white light to the point where it almost looks as though like you have rent time and space. Like there's just so much magical energy that is like pinpointed in this moment. And I think she hits the bone, and the bone itself just is incinerated, and you can hear the screams of the archdemons as like their essence through this remnant is just snuffed out of existence.
I love every bit of it. So, what's your biggest fire spell that you have?
I have Flame Blast because the other one I took was lightning.
Okay. Roll me the damage for that real fast. And if you want to use those stump points to get yourself some damage bonuses, I would very much encourage you to do so in this moment.
Great. I'm going to do whatever damage bonuses I could do. I don't know. How do I roll the
Let's see. Hold on.
Oh, I have to do it automatically. Okay. I have to do it on my own. So, yes.
I would suggest using all 6 of them to do penetrating spell, where where it goes past armor.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great idea. So I need to do 2d6 plus 1. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. I'll give you all a moment to get over the shock. And what does penetrating damage get me?
It ignores all armor of anything it hits, so you
Okay.
don't have to worry about it. That's all on my end.
So I don't have add anything to my dice pool.
Nope.
That's a 9.
So literally all of y'all can see what happens next. Across the circle, there are a couple of muffled yells, and then an entire section of the camp goes up in a nuclear blast of purple and black fire. And there's nothing left over there. The camp's a little bit on fire now. All of the mages in the group can tell that the control spell is gone just immediately. Calyx, like 50% of the interference that you were feeling is out of your way now. Valentina, all of a sudden, this really passive group that you've been looking at down there is not passive anymore. And you see something flare up in the middle of the group where some of them had just like started to swing at one of the mages in there. And Calyx, if you're looking down there as well, or if like Valentina like points you at it, you can tell that those mages now are doing like a shield spell effectively around the center zone of this area. In narrative terms, what happened was you put so much freaking magic into that shard of the archdemon horn that the rest of it exploded from like sympathetic magic nonsense. And there's a lot of freaking power in an archdemon anything. For those who may not follow the Dragon Age lore, archdemons are massive dragons that may have been gods. So you basically set off a magic nuke, and it's really great. I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen from that ever. But you know, you solved a problem.
More Fade NATOs.
So, is is there a way to stop the mages from doing their spell so that the elves can get them?
There almost certainly is. You would probably need to consult with Asala and Calyx. I don't know that Valentina quite has enough experience to do that, but yes, there almost certainly is.
She's going to. I'm sorry, I'm laughing about the fade NATOs.
Very good.
She's going to suggest that to Calyx since he's right there. Or somebody needs to suggest the fade NATO. Sorry, I just found that really funny.
It was good. Yeah. So, one problem definitely solved. All of you can now hear yelling and screaming coming from the hole. And as Calyx and Valentina watch, people are starting to like rush back up the ramp. Hey, Calyx, that other spell didn't go away. That spider web that's connecting all of them to the prophet, that's still there.
And so it's definite. Okay. So it's definitely seeming more parasitic as opposed to something that they had endowed him with. Like it started on that end.
Roll. Here we go. Roll me an arcane lore or heraldry. Either one, really. Both will get you the answer. The answer is bad.
Oh my god, these rolls!
Hey, that's enough. Actually, because literally every mage knows what this is. Literally every mage on Thedas knows what this spell is. Because a long time ago, 7 Tevinter mages used this exact spell with something like 10,000 slaves as the fuel source to penetrate the Golden City and overthrow God. It's just there's not enough people to really propel him into the Golden City. There's enough for him to do something real bad, though.
random question. Were there any like any animals in this camp? Like horses, anything like that?
There are, in fact. I was really hoping y'all would eventually make it around to where the ritual is happening, because that's where I was gonna give you this particular gift, Pat. As that explosion happens, a couple horses do come stampeding around the side, kind of just in a blind panic. But there are horses available if Calyx wants to go for a quick jaunt.
I was gonna say, can Calyx get on a horse and just go charging down the hole?
I want nothing more in this life than to see this happen. Yes, please.
Well, great.
Geez.
It happens.
Is that a
then.
stat you can
Happens,
roll,
right?
or is that just a thing you do?
I've got riding as a dexterity focus, and I
Oh,
forget
cool.
if I have any. And I'm also a horsemanship novice, which is skilled rider, can handle horses and other beasts of burden with ease. You can jump into the saddle quickly, mounting a steed as a free action.
Yeah, roll me that dex with horse riding thing.
Sure. Advantage again.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it did the weird math thing. 14?
Yes. And
Go ahead.
a bunch of stunt points.
You have a bunch of stunt points, so I'll give it to you if you don't want to use one of your last two advantages on this.
That would be great. Yeah, I think I'm going to need those. This is very bad.
Uh-huh. All right, so Calyx, you got a horse. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, Mariana, Atrian, what's up in y'all's world since some magic shit is going on?
I'm heading for the hole, especially seeing
Yeah.
Calyx ride in there. I will either run after him, parkour down, whatever I need to do to get down there.
Okay, you go ahead and roll me a dex with acrobatics. Atrian, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've seen Calyx like stub his toe and almost die, so he's probably gonna die down there. So yeah, I'm just gonna follow suit. And is there any like piece of equipment, like a shield or something laying around?
Yeah,
Could
there's
one
something.
attempt to use, whatever piece of metal as a surfboard to make its way down even faster?
Yes.
Because
I fully
No, it's-
encourage everyone to try to be Link
it is.
as awesome.
It is the last session. Let's do shenanigans, and if I die in the process, so be it.
Yeah, basically, you're gonna do a dex. Do you have acrobatics?
Yes, I do, because
Please
I took
do
that
that.
specifically for shenanigans.
Hey,
As he
really-
rolls,
really
Sorry.
don't fail.
As he rolls, I got a 14. I am also coating my dagger with the last of my death root extract.
Okay, very, very cool.
I will use my advantage.
Please, God, yes. Because
Apparently, it's not better. that's a bit better. That's
it's a
technically
little
9 plus technically 2, so that's technically 11. Actually, my base dexterity is 5. So that would actually be not too bad.
that's like a 15.
Yeah.
Okay. You can do it with a 15. You're gonna be a little bit faster than Mariana. And y'all are both gonna be a little bit slower than Calyx because horse. All right, so those three are making their way down. Asala, how you doing? What you doing? How you feeling?
So Asala is sort of reeling a little bit. Like she felt I imagine that like the plus to the spell power was like this sort of like, it's like when the really big meteor hits the planet and the shockwaves go all the way around the planet and create mountain ranges on the other side, where like it was like that. So she's kind of like very shaken and like is like 100% ready to kick some ass. And she is going to begin also making her way down. down the spiral, and I think not like not an acrobatic gal. She is going to just merely be hurrying at her best and I don't know, trying to gather anything interesting as she makes her way, going in the wrong direction of the fleeing crowd.
Cool. Yeah, there's a channel opening up behind a horse, and then some acrobatic rogues. So you'll be able to do it. And Valentina, what are you up to?
She's going to gather some rope and head down there too.
Okay.
Like, if she can find some, just pick up as much as she can and run down.
Yeah, there's a coil of rope right next to the tent, right where Atrium picked up a shield.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you'll be able to follow along with Asala, and as our party is running down the ramp to the final boss battle, or potential boss battle, the boss battle arena, we're gonna take our break. Because I don't know how long this is gonna go or how quick it's gonna go, because I don't know what they're gonna do. Tune back in as we finally have a confrontation with the Prophet and see what happens next. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back. Things are about to get wild. I just very quietly shared some of the details that are going to be coming to light with our wonderful host and producer Raven, and she loved it. So I'm excited for everybody else to learn the madness that I'm casting tonight. We're back. We're going to fast forward y'all around the ramps during the commercial break. So y'all are pretty near the bottom. If someone would like to have made an action happen higher up, we can talk about that and do that. Most of the people that were at the bottom of the hole have now gone up the ramps or are currently going up the ramps. There are a bunch of more burly types, like fightery types or just really angry types, that are still trying to like batter down the magical shield that the other mages are keeping up. And yeah, y'all are pretty near the bottom. What do y'all want to do? What's everyone doing? What's the plan?
On the way down, I am going to pull my crow mask out of my bag finally, and slip that on my face on the way down. It's black and gold, comes down to a beak in front of my mouth and feathers back off of it, which looks a little odd because she's wearing a bright blue dress, like a leather bodice and that, and then, well, I guess the felon's coat as well. I guess that, yeah, I forgot she has that, so it doesn't look that strange anymore. But
look, Mariana has a lot going on, and it all somehow works.
Valentina's kind of far behind everyone. She's tying knots in her rope.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. If you've been doing that the whole way down, then let's say you have however much rope you want to have in this moment for whatever your plan is. You are
Perfect.
just about done tying knots in it.
Okay, great.
This magic shield, is it like dome that they're creating, or is it just like almost like a riot shield? Like, is it like local? Could somebody potentially jump over it? Is my question.
Oh, well, that's really interesting.
Mhm.
No one's really. You have not seen any of the civilians that are still pounding on it really do anything above like head level. So, open question. Would you like to try like a roll to see if you know, or do you just want to just go for it?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I know first.
Awesome.
Before pulling a Chris Hemsworth and Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, just give me a whatever your magic lore is under. Do that.
16.
Okay. What answer do you want?
That I could do a cool trick and jump over this with my horse.
It's Riot Shield. It goes a little bit above their head.
Awesome.
Mostly because this is going to be freaking hilarious.
Now is it one big shield around all of them?
Yes.
Perfect.
Asala.
And Asala, seeing, much like as a middle school teacher, I can tell when a child is about to do something that I'm going to be upset about. It's like the butt wiggle kittens do before they learn to be stealthy with their jumping. Can Asala, like, as Calix is like figuring this out, can Asala like hop on the back of this horse?
I'm gonna give that one straight to Calix. If he's cool with it, then we can sure roll a die for it.
I mean, if you are cool with putting Asala's life in the hands of my riding role, then sure. I'm cool with it.
We are literally ride or die friends, Calix. Literally ride or die friends.
For how stupid and cool this dumb idea is, first, Asala, give me just a dex check, since I'm assuming you don't have horsemanship. Just give me a dex check to get on top of this horse. Well, thankfully you have advantage, is what I was going to say, for how stupid this idea is. You have advantage for this. Calix is going to have advantage on the horsemanship roll to get over this wall. Hey, that's much better. You can definitely get on a horse with that roll. All right, Calix, Asala's behind you on a horse.
Oh. Yup.
Yep.
Mhm.
You gonna try to jump this dumb wall?
Yup.
All right, give me a horsemanship and you have advantage because I love a stupid idea. Raven knows how much I
Okay.
love stupid ideas. I do
So
them to
that's-
her all the time.
That's a 10 or an 11.
Hey, go ahead, roll that advantage I'm giving you for free
Yeah.
on this one.
Is that better or worse?
That's worse.
That's worse.
That's worse.
Worse.
Boy, we're gonna go with the first one, I guess. It's an 11. Yeah. Do you want to spend one of your 2 advantages to try again?
Oh, can I do that? Sure, then yes.
Yeah.
please.
We have a
Oh,
yes.
we were also missing some.
Oh.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Asala?
I just had our friend Atrian pointed out to us that our dear friend Calix actually gets a +2 for writing. So technically, that would become a 13.
Well, this roll is much better. So we're gonna
Yeah.
take this third roll because
I'm
even
fine
13
spending
would
an
not have
advantage
done
to get
it
a
well.
cool scene out of this.
So that's 12. That is 15. That's 17. That's going to get you over with everyone, including the horse, being safe. And we don't want any horses harmed in the making of this film. Calix and Asala, we'll roll with it if they get harmed in the making of this film.
I was
but
gonna
not.
say we would have
the horse.
rotated the horse so that I would have taken the damage, and that would have been
Oh,
appropriate.
do a barrel roll. All right. Y'all are somehow. You know what? Calix, Pat, describe what happened. Describe this stupid scene because I love it.
I can't picture it in my head without it just being ridiculously cartoony, and because I'm picturing just the horse blowing up dust behind it like wheels revving almost, and we go off this little ramp that there's no reason it should be there on the side of this cliff, and go just over head level of these mages, and like one of them gets conked on the back of the head. And then just keep going forward, and then I picture almost like spinning and doing a donut up into the face of the prophet.
Oh, there is the sound of a like brake squeal happening. I don't know if anyone else watched Star Trek Next Generation, but in like the very first episode, when the Enterprise does bangs a Yui at warp speed, there's brake squeal sound effects that happens. So we're just lifting that and using it for our own means. Cool. The prophet, like, I imagine y'all just like do a donut around, and then basically like the prophet is basically nose to nose with a horse who's just like breath steaming out of his nose. The prophet just goes, just like boops the horse on the nose and goes, "You two cannot help making a damn scene, can you?" What's everybody else doing? Mariana, Adrian, Valentina, what are y'all doing?
So, first thing I want to do, and the amount of people that are still down there. Do I see my niece?
Roll.
Perception seeing?
Yeah, roll me a perception. Let's see.
I don't know. Probably not.
I'm gonna say you don't see her. What you do see is someone that you recognize from her band, though, is like hammering on the wall.
And I just saw little god boy and Timber lady go over like a fence. Magical fence.
Let's say about the same time that you're doing this perception check, they are in their run up. So
Okay.
they are like probably about to just jump.
Okay. Well, if I see that they make it above, do I have a clean line of sight from the Prophet?
If you like stopped on this ramp and like backed up a little bit, you
Yeah.
could definitely take a shot at him. Yeah.
That will be my goal. If I see that they make it over, that means there's no wall.
Right.
Calyx may
There-
crash test dummy for me.
And the way they landed, his back is to you.
Oh, even better.
So yeah, if you want to take a shot,
Yeah,
you're welcome to.
because this lovely gentleman more or less kidnapped my niece, and I'm not about it.
Accurate. All right. Well, so here's the thing. Here's the really weird thing that happens. You pull back that bow, you let that arrow fly. It's like we go into where we're following the arrow, like from a Skyrim or Fallout. So you know it's gonna hit. That's the only time that cutscene triggers. Except just before it hits, he just and does not break eye contact with Calyx. And you, Adrian, see the arrow kind of just like dissolve. Calyx, the arrow goes through rapid entropy, and you can like feel the flare of magic as it happens, and it just disintegrates from age.
When I see that happening, do I get any blip on the like web that's coming off of him? Like, I understand that's a more minor effect of whatever the fuck he's gonna be trying to do, but did it seem like he's drawing still like a fraction from all of those people to do that?
Roll. Okay. I want you to roll the arcane lore again. To try to like feel the magic of the space, like feel the room a little bit, because you're gonna get you now have access. And Asala, you could also do this now that you're inside the shield. If you want to do a magic or an arcane lore, y'all now have access to new information. Okay. Awesome. Calyx, do you want to use those stump points anyway? Anything you want to do with that?
I would love to. I don't know how I would use them for whatever we're discovering,
Okay.
but if you just have a way to make it cool, I'm fine with you taking them all.
All right. So Asala, you also notice the arrow kind of just suddenly go through rapid old age and fall apart, and you can tell that's entropic magic, sure. Here's what you notice, Asala. The prophet was very much, distinctly, definitively an elf. The prophet is still vaguely elf-shaped. But, like, the ears aren't as pointy, and the face is a little different. And there's something up with what he's wearing. It's a little different now, and it's a magical effect that is changing it. If you would like to roll heraldry, this would be a marvelous opportunity.
I was
to
just
do
going to
so.
say, I feel like this sounds like a job for heraldry.
So while you roll a heraldry, Calyx, this didn't touch the web at all. This was internal. And you had gotten a feeling from him before. We can just kind of retcon this a little bit, that like when you last met him, he was a strong mage, sure, like a real strong mage. Like you wouldn't want to get in a slugging fight with him in Magic way back then on the boat. But now, imagine if you will, that a normal mage is like a bucket This guy's bucket is now floating in a swimming pool. A 13 on heraldry. This rolls into a hard roll. The Seeker emblem that he wore on like a tabard over his whole thing is gray now instead of blue. And there's a really, really interesting emblem that's showing up, kind of overlapping the Seeker oh my goodness, the Chantry emblem. It's the symbol of a Grey Warden. It's like his clothes are being magically overwritten by something. Let's pop back out to the outside real fast here. Mariana, Valentino, what are y'all doing? Atrian just took a shot and the prophet just went like, nah.
Well, I'm going to try and parkour off a wall or something, seeing them leap over it and how tall it was. Just trying to get over it myself.
You can there are enough people that you could like jump onto someone's shoulders and probably leap over. So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I'm running for him.
All right, go ahead and give me that acrobatics check to get over the wall.
Okay. 15 with 4 stunt points.
How you want to use those stunt points?
Not quite in combat yet, so let me get the exploration. Is this exploration or is this or is this combat? What?
If you're trying, I feel like exploration probably, or we can just you can just kind of use it for like advantageous positioning or something like that if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm going in. I want to stab him. That's my intention.
Okay, he's still a little far out for you to get up on him right away, but you can at least do like advantageous positioning with the stunt points or something if you want to. But yeah, you absolutely are getting up on him.
Okay, but he's still a ways away.
Yeah, so this circle is for you to cross to where the shield is, jump over, and then get to him. It's going to be functionally next turn.
Okay.
And Valentina, what's your turn? What's your plan, Valentina?
Okay. Question: is the shield is a covering? Like you can't just walk around?
What do you mean?
Like, could Valentina just walk around versus jumping over it?
No. It is a full circle.
Okay. But can she walk around the circle?
Yeah.
Okay. She is going to drop her rope and walk around the circle.
With the rope?
No. Okay. Basically, what she's done is she's made those kind of traps that you, like those knots, like you run and somebody pulls it, it grabs your ankle.
Right.
So she's putting those around the circle.
I love it.
Where the mages and the prophet are kind of, so they run out.
Cool. Okay, I love it. The people who are like the people who are still down below can kind of see what you're doing. They're like, oh yeah, we'll help you with this. So you're getting some aid, and they're stopping their whole like beating on the wall situation.
Okay, perfect. That's my action for now.
Everyone down in the hole has seen a really interesting show so far. Like some guy just like shot an arrow at the prophet. Someone just vaulted over a wall. A horse happened. Like they're assuming that y'all have a plan. So, all right. The prophet pulls his hand back down, just goes, really? This this is what you decided to do.
Well, they haven't taught me any cool spells yet, so
Don't worry, I'll continue your education once your friends are dead.
awesome.
This is what you're doing. And he's looking at Calix and Asala. Slightly more Asala than Calix, but it's still pretty even.
Asala looks bored, and she sort of is looking at him. She just sort of looks bored, not particularly affected by his demonstration.
With kind of the overlap you described before, does this seem like a spirit inhabiting a body type thing?
It is not like a demon. It is not like a fade demon possessing someone. So it is, if it feels kind of like a possession thing to y'all, which is a logical jump to reach, it's nothing that you all have ever experienced or heard of before. It's too big. Like it is something else entirely. Possession is it's maybe more like possession is the word you have, but it doesn't grasp the situation.
I'm getting the feeling this is above the table, but what I'm getting the sense of from this, and I if I'm far away, sort of collect my player IC historian needs a sort of summarizing assignment before they move on to the final assessment for the unit.
Sure.
So I'm getting this. It's almost like we're like layering these very powerful figures and their essences sort of on top of each other.
Not
okay.
Not really.
Asala failed the midterm and is going to have to repeat the course next semester, and is really sad about
This is out of Asala's experience entirely. To Asala's knowledge, this shouldn't be possible. What it's more like is that the original spirit of this body was pulled out and something was poured in. And it's finally starting to like overwrite the memories and the personality of who this person was. Pat looks really unhappy right now.
Yeah, because where my head just went is that sounds like the Blight and becoming a Darkspawn. Very similarly.
Weird.
Don't like that.
So, he's engaging y'all in conversation. So if y'all want to y'all can talk to the person before he gets stabbed by Mariana here in a second, which will be a fun day for everybody.
What the fuck are you?
Oh, finally, someone got there. Mariana, roll your attack.
Okay.
You are behind him. He has not noticed you coming, supposedly, so you can do your stealth roll with advantage.
It's so tempting to break my stealth and like try and distract him because my bluff is so much higher than my stealth.
You can, if you can sell me on how you do that, you sure can.
Yeah. I'm gonna yell out, oh wait, but I don't know if his perception or his willpower is higher.
He's clearly a magic user.
Magic users have high willpower, right? I have no idea. I'll roll stealth. We'll keep it simple.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna roll persuasion. I'm gonna yell, hey, your boot's untied.
All right. And he's got to do a...
That did not roll on my stuff. It's self-discipline.
Okay. And he's just got to
I rolled a 20 total. He's got to
Oh.
beat a 20.
With willpower?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Oh, wait. It helps if I do the actual right command. Jeepers Christmas, he failed to beat that. So,
So
He
he
like-
falls for it.
yeah, he just like, what?
And then I stab him. So I get a +2 on this roll. Let's see
Yup.
if I. Or actually, let's see if this worked. If this fixed it, it should. It did fix it. 22 with 5 stunt points.
Talk to me about these stunt points real fast. What do you want
Yeah.
to do there?
2 of them are going to be in Venom.
Yeah.
2 for Envenom. I have 3 left. 1 will be for Pierce Armor.
Okay.
That leaves 2 left. And 2 for Knock Prone.
Neat.
So yeah, Pierce Armor and Venom Knock Prone. Let me roll this damage first. Did that roll it all? Yeah, so 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
I need,
Go ahead.
and then for Envenom, I need a TN 15. Constitution, either stamina or drinking.
Okay. No.
Roll a d6 for me, please. As I get back to my poison page.
What's a 6? How's a 6 do for you? Is it instant death? Because it feels like that's what a 6 would be.
It is not.
Okay.
6 is Foul Darkspawn. The character is suddenly convinced that a random nearby ally, determined by the GM, is a Darkspawn or other natural enemy. The character spends the next turn attacking that enemy with a +1 bonus on attack rolls for their fervency.
I love every bit of this. Now,
And I knock him prone.
beautiful. Mariana, I need you to roll me a willpower real fast.
Oh, this isn't going to go well. Oh, I'm going to use my advantage.
Okay.
Much better. Much
Cool.
better.
You notice as your blade is like going into him, you notice space ripple around you, and the back that your knife goes into is not his, it's a mage's. That's standing there holding up the shield. He just put you through space. And the mage drops to the ground, and as he does, the shield collapses from lack of concentration on one part. And as he's like flopping on the ground, he makes eye contact with one of the other mages who's looking at him like, what just? And he just screams, and a fireball flies out of his hand, and the other mage catches on fire. And the prophet,
That still counts for my kill.
good job. And the prophet just like has looked down at his boot, looks back up at Calix and Asal, and just goes, really? Ask your question.
Were you expecting to be more interesting?
No, y'all had a really good question. We were gonna talk it out, and I was gonna amaze you with my awesomeness.
I think sort of Asala looks like she's barely holding in like a laugh. And you see her sort of put that same like placid, polite smile she had like episode 1 callback. But this time it's like her lips are sort of twitching and she's just nodding and like, please go on.
So y'all think I'm just some possessed mage? Your little friend from the Fade probably told you that I was some spirit demon, and y'all think y'all can deal with me. And he looks.
I don't know that people talk about you as much as you think they do.
He just kind of stops and just goes, "No, of course they do." And he looks up at the tree. Like his line of sight goes to where the tree is and just goes, You at least told him what you were sending him to fight, right? And Calix, if you look up there, you can see like Solus's head pop over, and everyone can hear this, but especially Calix can. He just goes, "No, thought it'd be funnier." And the prophet looks pissed. It just goes, "Y'all don't even know." He looks right at Saul and says, "Your people didn't tell anyone what they had in their little tower?"
So, can you just tell us and stop this monologue, please?
We weren't able to have lunch, you see, and poor Calix gets so disagreeable when he's hungry.
Maker's bones. Hello,
If only you had some of those.
I'm Dumat.
No, you're not.
And he like holds his arms out, and his shadow flashes against the far wall of the hole, and it is a humongous dragon.
God fucking damn it, Solus.
So, what spell is that?
Spell of reveal final destination of the world as I consume a titan and become the final archdemon once again.
Is that something you're going to teach me?
No, you'll be dead. Sorry, I lied a little bit.
It's not quite as remarkable if you become the final of something again, just as a point of feedback.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. May I offer you a counterpoint? And he
Are you going
takes.
to say something, or is that your cue to sneakily hit someone with a spell?
No,
It's-
he steps 2 steps to the left and runs his foot through the dirt and kicks back a layer of dirt, and there's stone with a pulsing blue vein in it. May I present to you a titan, my new body.
Yes, that's very nice. I
Uh-huh.
think it will go with your eyes. It'll
Oh,
be a
thank you.
good look. I think it's a good look.
Thank you.
So question for my beneficent DM.
Yeah, hi.
What, real
Just
quick,
what?
having sort of
Just
lived
what?
in the world of this spell,
Yeah.
what would Asala have picked up about the nature of this tethering spell that is siphoning this magic? Like, what would Asala, like, just not like doing anything special or magical, but like, what would she have been able to piece together? Because player IC historian
Okay.
is not entirely sure.
No, cool. Yes. I will get to that. There's
Great.
another bit of information that I think both Asala and Calix would now know based on this this reveal. Dumat was the first archdemon. He led the first blight. No one really knew how to deal with an archdemon, so he kept dying and getting resurrected until the Grey Wardens showed up and finally figured out that they were the ones who could deal with him. No one knows which warden dealt the killing blow, because in the archdemon's death throes, at least 7 died. The remains of the archdemon were taken to a Grey Warden fortress and later used to do something with Corypheus that was really dumb. But the bodies of the 7 wardens vanished. That's what both of you know. What Asala knows is that the Tevinters were very concerned about some faction having a power that they didn't. And those 7 warden bodies were stolen and taken to Tevinterlands, specifically to the Watchmen of the Night. And it is entirely possible in your experience, Asala, to transfer spirits from one body to another. You know, in case a body tries to die or something. The really high up magisters do this all the time. It's very annoying for upward mobility. But that also means that everything that comes with being a Grey Warden goes with it. Because their souls were entwined. This body, this soul, has just never had a proper chance to die. That's how you kill an archdemon. The Grey Warden takes the spirit inside of them and then dies. So, that's some information that y'all would need. Now, let's address your actual question, Asala. You can tell immediately upon getting down here that this is the same blood magic ritual that broke into the Maker's golden city and doomed everyone to blights and all of that stuff. It is a much smaller scale, but it's probably enough. It's probably enough juice to kick a spirit from one body into another and maybe have enough juice to let it overcome the spirit that already lives there. But if you could sever some of those bonds, then nah. Well, gee, you're asking a lot of questions in chat. Do you want to ask any of these questions out loud that we can address them for everybody?
No, I'm just sort of like, I have too many ideas coming into my brain and I have to put them in a parking lot, and the only parking lot I have access to right now is our Zoom chat.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine.
I do have a clarifying question. When we talk about the spirits sort of being sort of absorbed into this body, this sort of like Franken spirit, if you will.
Yes.
Do the spirits retain? They retain their power and they retain obviously their heraldry, which is very important as our campaign has shown.
Obviously, yes.
Do they retain any of their personality? Because I feel like if you woke up a Grey Warden and were like, bro, here's what's up, and they would probably be like, oh, let me assist you in your quest.
So the way that you know that this like spirit transfer thing works is that the new body has its spirit removed and basically chucked into the Fade, basically creating another demon in the process. But it basically empties out the body, so it becomes a shell that the previous one can then kind of be poured into. The only spirit that's most likely still tied into this thing is the original Warden.
Great.
Because of the nature of how their whole thing works, they have to like tie their spirit in with the Archdemon.
Funny how that works out. That's the
Weird.
one I'm most interested in.
Nice, yeah. Calix, you have some thoughts?
Yeah, Calix. So I'm not sure still how he would communicate these thoughts to the person he wants to communicate them to. But was having more in mind of, so what the prophet wants to do, like you said, kicks the original spirit out to the Fade. But I think Calix is like, in our research into this, there's rare examples of like a spirit inhabiting a body with the original one still there.
Mm-hmm.
But so what Calix wants to try and do is talk to this Titan and see if they can like, I guess like bond for a bit to like lend some level of strength to the Titan. Again, like, oh, if it's already got like another extra inhabitant, like, oh nope, sorry, no room, we're already full.
Okay.
Please go home.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. That is something we can attempt to do. Calyx is going to need to make contact with the Titan
Yep.
to kind of
Yep.
feel out this situation. All right, Asala, you want to try to make contact with the original Grey Warden?
I mean, I feel like if we could get like literally some help from the inside, that would probably benefit us. And obviously attacking physically, one, for Asala is just not going to be a thing. I'm assuming attacking magically would only end in Abbott and Costello-esque hijinks. So I feel like I'm sort of left with that as an option. And clearly I'm not going to like make fun of an elder god until it decides to give up on its world conquering plan.
Fair. Okay. So here's what I want both of y'all to do. Calyx, you're going to do your magic arcane lore thing to try to contact the Titan again. Go, you can roll that for me. Asala, you're also going to roll a magic for me, or an arcane lore for you, to see if you can figure out a way that you can like talk to this spirit. Basically, just kind of like how does do. While we're doing that, let's hop over to Atrian because we haven't checked in with Atrian in a minute. You have heard this. You saw the display of the big dragon shadow on the wall. And you saw the Dreadwolf kind of just be like, nah, it's funny to just throw this guy at you. Seemed great.
Of course. All right. Well, I'm not exactly magic folk. I know this is a bad time. All I can do is, hopefully stab thing from afar. I've seen Mariana promptly murder a mage
Yeah.
who murdered a different mage.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good domino.
Still got us one, though. Look, the second is collateral. Doesn't count. But I figured while our mages are distracting the prophet, who has promptly, say, fuck you to my arrow, it's best to remove some allies from the playing field, that you will, leave some less juice on batteries. How many other mages are, tempting to make a barrier?
There are 3 more.
All right. Minor action, put it under arrow. Major action, shoot a mage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack roll. Well, let's see here. 13, 16, 17. 17 hit. Cool. Yeah, that'll hit.
Because I don't hear the conversation. I'm probably way too far from that. So I'm just here picking targets.
Okay. So that one drops to his knee. He's still up, but he was not expecting an arrow to the knee. So good job. All right.
Well, it's not going to be an adventure anymore.
No. He's going to miss that sweet roll, though. Mariana, what are you doing? Because you are in zone to have heard all this conversation.
So I would understand. Was anything said out loud about the people fueling this?
Ooh, no, I don't think it has been yet.
Okay. So I wouldn't know anything about that. So there are more mages still.
There's one on fire. The one that dealt with is crawling towards the guy and is probably going to shoot another fireball here in a second at him.
Cool.
You just saw one kind of across the circle go down on one knee with an arrow in his other one. And there are two more that are just kind of like, what's happening?
Okay. And I get the feeling that if I were to charge at, do I know that he's an archdemon?
You were there. You've heard this conversation and you saw the display. Like
Okay.
he did that whole dragon shadow thing, and you probably saw Calix and Asala's whole deal.
Yeah, so I feel like with the drop of my stomach, I know my little dagger is not going to do anything to this archdemon.
Not while he's not distracted, no.
But distracted more than a conversation, you mean?
Yeah. Mariana's not an idiot. I feel like with all this that's going around in Asala and Calix's conversations, like they're probably both planning stuff. And if they can distract him with magic shit, you also, presumably as a crow, you also know like some stuff on Darkspawn and how they're dealt with, and that the wardens do it. And maybe all it takes is if he gets properly distracted, you can get that blade in there. But it'll take them probably pulling off their plan to distract.
Yeah.
Until then, there are two more mages that are untouched.
I'll give them time to do that. I will shut out Keeper Garen and see if anyone turns and looks first.
Roll a d6.
I gotta kill him anyway, so I might as well 3. I might as well check.
The one with the arrow in his knee goes, "What?"
Okay, I'm heading for that one.
Perfect.
Yep. I will run up to him and what should I say to him? I'll just say, "What's that over there?"
What? Where? My knee.
That's a self-discipline against a 21, please.
Oh gosh, that's not.
No,
gonna-
actually, that's not counting all my points. Sorry, that's
Go
against a
nuts.
23, please.
you got a 10.
I have 6 stunt points on that.
Oh my god.
I have a contract on him. I have
Yeah.
to kill him.
Uh-huh.
I am going to. Yeah, we're just gonna make it big. Point for pierce armor, 5 points for lethal blow. And when he looks up like that, I'm just gonna say the crows send their regards, and I will stab him in the side of the neck. Let me roll for that to see if I hit. 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So this
Pretty
is
much any of
pierce-
his stats you want it to hit.
So this is pierce armor. It's what I'm about to roll plus 2d6 more. So 25 points of damage.
Talk to me about how you kill this guy, because he was already hurt from Atrian.
Yeah, quick and efficient. When he looks up to see where I was pointing, I'll kind of lean down next to him and say the crows send their regards, and just stab my knife into the side of his neck and kind of pull forward with it. And then turn around and see what Asala and Calix are doing. Wait for them to distract.
Love it. Valentina. So, you've heard all this as well. You're probably at least familiar with Darkspawn from stories, so this is probably terrifying. What do you want
Yeah.
to do?
Well, it looks like they're doing what they can, so I'm going to go up to the tree.
Okay, the tree that's back at the top of the hole?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're going to start running back up the ramp.
Yep.
Awesome. Because people are convinced that you have a plan, a bunch of the other civilians start following you back up the ramp. So you're leading a nice little charge of most of the rest of the civilians out of the hole. All right. Let's. Did you want to do anything? Do you want to say anything to them, Valentina, or just get up the ramp?
Oh, I was muted. I guess to try to destroy the tree.
Oh. You're telling them to go destroy the tree.
Yeah, and I want to help, I guess, or try to help.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna think on that for a minute. That's gonna be the immediate reaction is a whole bunch of them go, "What tree? Oh, what is that tree?" Because magic. All right, I'm gonna think on that for a second. Because yikes, this is gonna be a fun day. Let's go talk to. So Asala did some shit, and Calix did some shit, and got a heap of stunt points. So let's talk to Asala and see what's going on with your plan. I love
So
this.
Asala was muted. So Asala rolled to try to talk to the Grey Warden.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if this, I don't actually think this will work. So I don't really know. Here's my struggle, right? I don't really know technically because it was under magic where I would put those stunt points.
Okay.
So since I kind of looked at the advanced spell table and saw a little thing called Disrupt Magic, and I saw a little thing called My Crit in the Corner, and I saw a little thing called This is the Last Episode. So my plan was to put all of those things in a big old soup, get a stew going, and disrupt the web.
Okay. Cool. We can absolutely do that.
But I want to know if I talk to Grey Warden first, because that might change my mind. Because if he's
So-
like really has
So,
to,
yeah.
I want to take it away from him, you know?
Here's the fun thing. You can do both. In fact, you're going to kind of have to. Because what you realize from your frickin' 20 you rolled, you monster, is that you can talk to this Grey Warden. That's totally possible. You kind of have to pull him into the Fade and go in with him, which might like pull the Archdemon into the Fade, maybe. But to do all that, you do have to get through his defenses, and Disrupt Magic with a crit and a heap of spell points sure seems like the right way to do that. So, yes, congratulations. You do that, GM. I want you to describe, so the net result is going to be you, Asala, in the Fade with the Grey Warden spirit and a very disoriented Archdemon spirit.
Yeah. So I think that
Not separated from the body.
Right.
They are still in the body, but like you have to get into the Fade to see the spirit. Easiest way to do it.
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so we can. Okay, good. We can do some more stabbing if spirits are in the Fade. Perfect.
It certainly seems like a potential opening. We're
Great.
going to check in with Calix before we get there, but yes.
I love all of those things. So what I think we've been sort of building up to is the whole idea of like, why does anyone give a shit about Asala Polonius? Like, why does the Imperium care? She's a middle level at best functionary. She's not particularly good at anything. We really struggled with stick gathering. Like, that was a lot. We had like several remedial sessions with Atri, and it was a really good bonding experience. And I think what sort of, I imagine that the visual storytelling here, the theme in our movie is that this is Asala showing that she is very open to just magic as a force, and sort of where like the way that hippies are in touch with the healing energy of the earth. Asala is in touch with just the flow of magic as a thing and has an appreciation for it outside of wanting to use it to control. Like, you know, one with a force of some kind. If only, you know, someone should make movies about that. Anyway, so I think what you see is her eyes sort of flash with this like focus that hasn't been seen before, and you see her just sort of like, she doesn't like raise her arms or do anything particularly dramatic, but she just kind of like holds her hands out a little bit, and like you can almost see it like she's feeling the static electricity in the air, and closes her eyes, and like the lines on her arms that came up when she did the scrying spell before, they're glowing, and they begin to glow our fabulous green of fady weighty stuff. And she kind of smiles and doesn't cast any sort of interesting shadow because like she's not that much of a Mary Sue.
Sure.
But she sort of looks at Dumat and says, you know what your problem is that you convinced yourself you're the only one with tricks up your sleeve. And I think in that moment they sort of drop or are catapulted in, depending on one's, I guess, spiritual feelings about the Fade, just pop into the Fade.
I love this. So, Calyx,
Yes.
you feel all this energy moving around you, and you can tell when that connection drops and the web drops away from the Prophet. The threads are still there, they're just not connected right now. So it could be picked back up if the Prophet broke out of this, whatever Asala's doing. You also got a ludicrous roll with a heap of spell points or stun points, and you had an idea for it.
Yeah. So I was rolling to try, and I think what it was to connect. I believe you said it was to connect with the Titan. So that was what that roll was for with the 19. And it was, where's my stunt list? So what I had pitched before was to try and convince the Titan to kind of like Borg with me, I guess, prior to the Prophet smashing in, presumably because I would make it slightly harder. And I thought there is the flirt stunt points.
Interesting. Do go on.
For four stunt points, choose one character who's present, make an opposed communication, seduction versus willpower self-discipline test.
Okay.
If you win, character becomes enamored with yours, which in the sense of, I think in this point, like making a good team against this immediate threat.
Sure. So my question is, who are you flirting with? The Titan?
The Titan
Or Solus? Because Solus is also present.
Oh, I had not even considered. Oh no.
Solus is still like just looking over the edge. You kind of get the feeling from his pose that he's like on his belly, just like looking.
Oh shit.
Both are great. Literally go with your heart.
The Titan.
Okay.
If so, but specifically when Solus is watching.
Oh, I love that even more. This is great because this sets up something for Valentina here in a second.
Exactly. If I had flirted with Solus, he wouldn't have fucking done anything anyway.
That's amazing, and I love it. Okay, so you're gonna connect with the Titan, and Solus is just gonna be like, I can help. And we'll get back to that interesting development here in a second.
I haven't seen that happen.
You know? So, talk to me about how this goes. Like what's Kyle's doing here? Like, you're gonna be able to pull this off. The Titan is going to probably just go with you on this because this is great.
So I've got two stunt points left,
Uh-huh.
and this may be a dumb idea, but if there's a way that we could use and another thing where you manage to weave a second thread of conversation into the primary interaction, can I convince the Titan to jump into the fade with me, and then we all just kick the Prophet's ass like in the fade Matrix style or something?
Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. We're gonna think on that. You're gonna spend a little bit of time convincing the Titan of this plan, which is me buying time to think about it a little, think about how we'll execute it, but I love it. So we're gonna get over to Atrian and Mariana here in a second. We're gonna hop over to Valentina actually, because something fun is happening with Valentina. You're running up the ramp, Valentina. You're going. There's a horde of former prisoners that are coming up after you, and they are convinced that they're going to go rip down this weird magic tree. And there's a guy who like catches up to you. Completely bald. He's an elf. He doesn't have any tattoos. And he's just like jogging. Doesn't seem to be putting forth any effort. And just goes, hey, you want to break that tree?
Yeah, come on, let's do it.
Okay. So just like not for nothing, but that tree is like maybe the last remnant of the Elven Empire, and it like holds a whole lot of primal magic in it. It would be functionally like setting off a magic bomb. And like if anyone was happening to be doing a lot of magic right now, it would like supercharge the effect of anything going on. Still sound good?
Well, what do you suggest?
Oh, let's burn it to the ground.
Okay, so why did you say anything?
I like to give people choice.
Okay.
And he just like waves a hand, and this whole group of y'all are now at the top of the hole, getting real near the tree, and he's just like, all right,
So what are you, a mage or something?
we're gonna go with something. I'm gonna
What is-
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know who you are.
Oh, hi, I'm Solus. I used to be an adventurer. I knew the Inquisitor, from way back.
You did?
Yeah, we're friends. She doesn't talk to me much anymore.
Why not?
We disagreed on some stuff. She broke a mirror. It was a whole thing.
And so you think I should burn the tree down?
Oh yeah, I think this is a great plan.
That makes me rethink my plan.
No. Here, watch this. And he turns to the people that were following and just goes, my children. I am Finn Haral, and I am here to save you. Tear the tree down and earn your freedom. And then he like
What?
steps back next to you and just goes, see, now it's their choice.
But why should they have to earn their freedom? They should just be free.
You make a lot of really good points, and I don't need them up here. And he like boops Valentina on the nose, and she is back down standing next to
Oh,
Atrian down in the hole.
oh no.
And all of y'all can see this, like Solus leans over the hole and just goes, You really were making good points, and I do see a really awesome career as a mage for you. I just really need to punish Calyx right now.
He's going to try to run back up.
Adrian, what are you doing?
I mean, so from Adrian's perspective, there's a mage having a conversation with an archdemon, one Sparta kicking him, one to the fade, so they're essentially gone for now. I don't know what the fuck Calyx is doing. Mariana is murdering people, as Mariana does.
Right.
And I know for a fact that like a second ago, Valentina was not next to me.
Right.
And she's not stealthy, so she should not sneak up me.
Correct.
She's going to say some guy is trying to make Calyx mad. Solace. Solace.
And I'm just gonna, probably see Fenna out of there. That's a
waves at you.
that's a problem for a different time. Since I'm a bit out of range from everybody, I'm just gonna run as quick as possible down to catch up to Mariana, who may or may not be able to explain to me what bloody hell is actually going on, because I was out of earshot from everything. So I'm gonna use my minor and my major action to run and charge
into the middle of the hole.
Close enough that if somebody is able to shout at me, I can actually hear them currently.
Cool. All right. So Adrian is running up to join the fray in a more direct way.
Yeah. Not like in melee with anybody, because I stab people
Right.
from afar.
Yeah, like off to one side is Mariana, who has just murdered a man, and off to the other side is a mage on fire, which is just a great time, really. Everyone else that didn't follow Valentina up and is now doing Finharal's bidding is just kind of slowly backing away from everything because they realize this situation has shifted gears. All right, Mariana, what are you doing? There are two untouched mages. The one that you dropped to the ground way earlier does shoot another fireball at the one on fire, and that's going really well.
Yeah, I'll let him continue doing his thing. He seems happy enough. Can I tell that something happened with Asala and the Archdemon? Like, can I tell this is my window?
Do me a perception scene,
Oh,
or just general perception.
yeah, I don't have seeing.
Okay.
Oh, roll 20, please be nice.
Okay, that's not a critical failure. So here's what you did see. You saw something happen, and both Calyx seems a little bit zonked out, kind of staring at the ground. Asala is kind of slumped forward against him on the horse, and the prophet is slumped forward as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about magic, anything about what's going on. But this seems like my window. So as Atrian runs up, I'll shout back, "He's an archdemon, apparently. But this is our window. Hit him now." And I'm going to run and I'm going to spin around him and just stab into his chest, trying to.
Okay, roll me that. Atrian, how do you respond to that?
I believe that Mariana is an efficient murder machine. So if, Mariana is, saying that this is the best way to murder, what has been causing the issue, and I'm on the hunt here. So if I have the option to aim as a minor and attack, I will.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do both of those. You sure can right now.
Do I need to roll anything for my backstab?
Oh,
No, not in this moment. It's just going to succeed.
shucks.
23 to hit.
Cool.
No stun point. 21.
Hold on one second. Hey, Atrian, if you want to trade me that last advantage you have, you can have your 6 stunt points. I'll give you all 6 for that.
I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. Valentina, do you also want to get in on the attacking the prophet while he's down moment?
I'm trying to run up and stop
Okay.
Solus.
Cool. All right, so time is going to kind of freeze out in the overworld for a moment. Mariana, you are like mid-stab. There's an arrow coming at the same time. They're going to both hit at the same time. Y'all's attacks will hit. Y'all can roll damage for them whenever y'all like.
Is that offer open to me as well?
Yes.
So I have enough channel points to give myself advantage.
Do it. Please do so. I will of course take that option on this
I'm
moment.
doing it. 6 stunt points.
Love it. Yeah. So you can put all those madness points out there. Basically, the prophet is not able to roll opposed things, so anything that needs an opposing check will automatically succeed in your favor. Is how I'll rule that at this moment. So we will circle back around here in a moment to deal with that. First, we're going to go up and have something fun happen at the tree. It doesn't take much to break a tree, especially not when it's kind of a magic construct tree that Solus kind of made show up on this realm anyways. So by the time this like horde of people with digging implements start swinging at it, it doesn't take long for them to pierce the bark. And magic floods the forest. And I do mean the forest. Shrines across the entire Arlathan woods light up. Golems that had been like dormant for centuries come alive and start wandering around. Way shrines open up. Somewhere buried deep, several alluvians activate. But in the immediate moment, Valentina, you feel the magic hit you, the wave of magic hit you. And one, all of your magic points, if you have spent any, refill to full. And you are at the top by some weird trick of primal magic and your desire to get up to Solus. You are at the top of the hole standing next to him, kind of now in the epicenter of this blast. The magic pours down the hole, hits Calyx first because he's a little bit taller on the horse than Asala is. And we'll deal with that here in a second. Then it hits Asala, and both of y'all's magic points fully refill. Although that's a little out of your knowledge at the moment. And hits the prophet at the same time. Mariana and Atrian, y'all are going to kind of notice something weird happen. This magic ignites a remnant of one of Asala's spells. And both the arrow in mid-flight and Mariana's dagger burst into flames. So y'all are going to get some extra damage. And Asala, you can remind them of how much extra damage they get for flaming weapon. And now something very interesting happens. We're going to go to Asala first. Then we're going to go to Calyx. And then probably back to Asala. Asala, you are in the Fade. And what you see is not the normal Fade. Normally, the Fade is like these islands, and off in the distance is the Golden City. It's a whole thing. It's whatever. What you see is you see floating islands scattered above you. And below you, where you're standing, is a brilliant, pulsing, hunched over shape of a person. And it's massive. And flowing out of it are the clouds of that mist that make up the rest of the Fade. And standing in front of you is a person in truly ancient armor with the Grey Warden insignia on it, looking a little dazed, and flung out well away from y'all is this unbelievable sight. It should be a dragon. It's kind of that, but it's also kind of a demon spirit. Or is it a person? It keeps changing, and it's slowly making its way back to you. The Grey Warden goes, what? Just what? Who? Where? Whoa.
I think Asala is going to sort of like stand and sort of approach the Grey Warden in whatever way would be appropriate, like whatever demonstrations of respect would be seen as appropriate. And she says, friend, we haven't much time. You've been kept for far longer than was appropriate and are being used to power and return an archdemon to the world.
No. My sacrifice was supposed to kill Dumont. That was the deal. That's what we were promised. That's what they said.
They took you before it could be complete.
Where am I? Where's Dumont? I can do it again.
We're in the Fade, and we're in a pit in the middle of our Lathan forest.
Where the elves live? What? Why are we there? What is going on? I was in the mountains.
It's been a long time, and there are many things I could explain. There's a Titan and a particularly strong magic siphoning spell that is being used will be used to transfer the soul of Dumont into the body of a Titan and do, well, I assume at that point whatever it wants. And you're in there, and we need you to fight your way out from the inside.
He stops and he looks around, and I think he startles when he sees what y'all are standing on and sees the archdemon spirit moving back through and says, I can feel it. We're still bound. Okay, I think I can help you, but this, I have no knowledge of this place. This is too much for me. I can help you try to hold it if you I have to die. That's the point. That's the whole deal. The Grey Wardens sacrificed for the world. That's the thing. And he stretches out a hand to the archdemon, and its progress slows a little bit. So, okay. I can tap into whatever power it has, but I can't do this forever. Do you have help? Do we have anyone backing us up?
We have I have several friends, and perhaps some of their associated paramours. We're not entirely sure, but we aren't alone, and we'll give you everything that we have. This is the most important thing, the only important thing that any of us could ever possibly face, and we'll do whatever is necessary. But
okay, we're gonna bounce from that line because it's a very good line to set this up. We're gonna bounce to Calyx. who's in a bit of a trance state. And what you are seeing is this, it's this vision of a cave. And inside of it is a stone heart made of lyrium. And there's a voice singing the song of the stone all around you, but you can hear it. What are you trying to what are you saying to the Titan?
I'm not sure that Calyx thought that he would be able to communicate words specifically.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
more
think
ideas.
more of just an impression of how can this threat is coming for you. How can I help? Like, what can I contribute?
The Titan rumbles back, and what you get is this feeling of like, okay, it's like, oh, you've given me more options.
Great.
And then you feel your magic restore. And the power, the wave of power, that primal energy channels through you into the Titan. And all around the cave, you see this series of veins light up bright blue. And the Titan goes, huh. And you hear it as words in your head. It goes, huh. I don't know how long I'm going to stay awake for this. You really want to help me, little one?
Yes.
Hold on tight. We're going for a ride. And Calyx, you wake up in the Fade. Again. But you're not standing there with Asala and the Grey Warden. You're what they're standing on.
Christ.
And the Archdemon is coming, and the Titan goes, all we really need is to buy your friends time, because they're about to kill him. All we have to do is hold him. And out here, we're big enough to hold him. We're big enough to hold everyone. We hold the Golden City aloft. We can hold him. Make it happen, little one. Choose the fate of the world.
Just above the table, because I feel like I'm blanking. What am I choosing?
How are you? What are you doing with this power? He basically is giving you his entire spirit form in the Fade. And like the Archdemon is coming, you could like reach out and grab it and physically hold it away.
Yeah, I imagine like both hands just like clapping it.
Asala and the Grey Warden see this, and the Grey Warden like sags and goes, "Oh, that's much better. Oh, we can do this all day now. I really hope your friends know what they're doing." And then, what you got?
We can't. There is no possibility to communicate through the Fade. And we also don't really need to, right?
Do you want to try?
No, that case makes me scared.
There's always a way.
There's so many fun things to talk to in the Fade.
Player IC Historian is working really hard on trusting when she's not immediately in control, and this is going to be a therapeutic exercise for Player IC Historian.
This is a great moment where all of y'all are working together right now to make this happen, and it's beautiful. We're actually going to cut up to Valentina and Solus. And Solus is like looking down in the hole, and Valentina, you get the distinct impression that he's not looking at what's happening down there. He's looking somewhere else. And he like glances over at you and goes, "Do you want to see?"
Yeah. What are you looking at?
And he holds out his hand.
Okay, she's like gonna hesitate, but take it.
And you can suddenly see from his vantage point down off of one of the islands in the fade down into what's happening below. And he's standing right there next to you and just goes, "You mortals, you ridiculous things. Look at them. Two of your friends are about to stab one of the most powerful beings in the world in the back. And two others of your friends are using the literal power of creation to hold a god at bay."
Okay. What
And
would you
do
do
you know-
differently?
Do you know what's the most interesting thing of all to me?
What?
You're the most interesting one of the bunch. My sister was very right about you.
Your sister?
Oh, you met her. Old woman in the woods.
Oh yeah. It's pretty nice.
Tell you
So what?
I don't normally make an offer like this to someone who's not an elf. Do you want to learn how to use that power you've got?
Sure.
Why don't you and I take a walk? This is above the table. This is a Valentina can choose her ending kind of deal.
Oh my gosh.
She can choose to go off with Solus in this moment and go learn from the Dreadwolf how to be a mage.
Doesn't offer it to too many non-elves. Has offered it to 2 members of the cast this season already.
No.
So, does Valentina want to take that offer up? It is not like it's not a death, and you will still get to like the rest of your party will be informed what happens if you want them to be. This is an
Oh,
open
man.
offer to Valentina.
Oh, this is hard. But she is going to decline because she has been learning and likes the party.
Awesome. So let's just go. All right. Well,
Well, can I get like a hint or something on how to use this?
sure.
And you'll get a discount.
I'll tell you what. I'll help you out here. And from his other hand, he pulls a glowing green orb and he holds it out to you, Valentina. And she says, "Here in a second, that stupid dragon is going to be a real pain. And when he does that, you just throw that orb at him. And that'll help out. All right?"
Oh, thanks. And here, you can have this. She's going to offer, like, I don't know, something from the shop. This
Okay.
always-
Yeah, y'all would sell like little keychains or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. And Solus just like takes it and just goes, "Thank you. I don't know if that orb will get you back out of the fade, but presumably Calyx and Asala can wake you up." And he like pats you on the shoulder and vanishes. And leaves you staring at this fight happening downstairs. Mariana, let's
Yeah.
talk about your damage rolls here, because
Yeah.
your knife is going to hit just before the arrow hits.
Yeah, so I almost touching the shoulder of, I guess, the Grey Warden. I would have heard that conversation. Yeah, and using that as a turning point to spin and just as hard as I can jam my knife into his chest. That's 29 points of damage.
With the fire and everything,
Yeah.
jeepers. That hits and hits hard. The important thing to remember about the Prophet is squishy because he is a caster.
That was armor piercing as well.
Oh, even better. That impacts, and in the fade, the Grey Warden Asala staggers and just goes, oh, and red spreads across his spirit. And he's just, oh boy, okay. Someone did some, and I don't think I can't. And the dragon screams. And there's a flash of power, and the hands of the Titan spread out for a moment. And Valentina, you see that happen. What do you do, Valentina? This seems like that moment you were just warned about.
Yeah, I want to throw the green glowy thing.
Roll me a d6.
A 3.
A 3. Oh, that's fine. We were looking for an odd or even, so that's great. Calix, you can feel like this force from the dragon like push your hands apart. And Asala, you see just kind of up from one of these islands, this glowing green ball come flying in and hit the dragon on its nose. And it cracks open, and these vines just encase it. And it just like rolls out around its head. And Calix, the pressure that was pushing your hands apart is gone. And you're able to just like, again. And now, Atrian, let's talk about that arrow of yours. How's that doing?
I mean, it stabbed people from afar. So that's 7 base damage plus a 6 of fire damage.
Okay. So, all right. Back in the Fade, there is a rush of magic that happens all at once. The dragon spirit screams again, and it just like gets twisted up into this power stream that flows and hits the Grey Warden spirit, who's just like reaches out a hand to Asala for a moment and says, no. I think we got it. I think. And his eyes flare, and a different voice rumbles through the Fade. So Asala, Calix, and Valentina can all hear this. And the thing just screams in Asala's face and just goes, no, I'm not done yet, little mage. You'll have to try hard. And the vines catch up to him. Valentina's magic, boosted by Solus's power, holds him in place while the body dies. All 3 of you in the Fade are blasted out of it. Calix, you come back into yourself the fastest because you kind of get the feeling like the Titan felt this blast coming. It's just like, nope. Get him out of here. I'll be fine. Nope, you need to go. Asala, you don't get as gentle a push. And you come back to reality flying off the back of the horse. Valentina, you are fine. You're actually sitting on the edge of the hole, just looking down at everybody. And there's just this like whisper on the wind behind you, and the old woman's voice just goes, you did so well. And the voice fades away. Atrian and Mariana, the Grey Warden's body, the prophet's body, crumples to the ground, dead.
I'll flip my knife over and stab it 2 more times just to make sure.
So, what do y'all do in the aftermath? We'll give each of y'all just one scene here in camp, and then we'll do a little bit of prologue before we sign out for the season. So, we'll just start at the tip top here. Mariana, what's your bit of prologue here in the camp? What does Mariana do in the immediate aftermath of this?
Well, I flip my knife over and I stab him twice. See that he's not moving, and I'll stand up slowly and look around. And seeing, so Sala had gotten blown off the horse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, seeing that, taking a quick breath of air and run over, and just check and make sure she's okay, because everyone else seems fine. So.
Sala is fine. So immediate aftermath, this is maybe like an hour or so afterwards. So what's Mariana doing here in the camp before everyone kind of starts drifting off? You go find your sister and the crows. What does Mariana do?
Yeah, after checking in with Asala and with everyone else, I'll check and confirm the kill on Keeper Garen, since that was the other part of my contract.
Correct. Done and done.
Awesome. Getting paid. Yeah, I'll let everyone know that I'm heading back to the temple, because that's where I sent my sister. I will gather up any other crows that are in the area and tell them they're supposed to return to Antiva City, and to tell the masters that I sent them. And then I will head out. I don't know if anyone's going to come to the temple with me. I don't know what everyone else is doing. But if not, then I'll say goodbyes. But I don't know what everyone else is doing. If this is where we're parting ways or what.
For right now, assume no. So this is just what you're doing. So probably something with your sister. So you get back to the temple, and your sister's there with the other two crows and a couple other people that had like wandered this way from the camp. And your sister just looks up at you and goes, all done? That all seemed weird.
Yeah. Turned out he was an archdemon. But we handled it.
Huh.
This is all done. Contract is complete. I killed Keeper Garen. I found all of you. It's time to go home, finally.
Oh, that sounds great.
I'll just nod at her for a second, and then I'll run up and I'll hug her again.
And she hugs you back, and she feels much stronger now, but still not fully.
I didn't think I was going to find you. I was really worried.
I know. I'm glad I was able to get a message to you, at least.
Yeah, it's that's one thing they were actually helpful with.
Well, no one said our job was ever easy, right?
No, let's try and get it assigned together from now on. I really don't like working apart from you.
Yeah, we do seem like a team. I bet I can still beat you in the race, though. And she sprints off away from you.
I take off after her, exhausted.
All right. We're going to leave you two there. Atrian, what are you doing in the aftermath of all this?
Oh. After ensuring the prophet is dead, which Mariana did very, very thoroughly, first thing that I would do is search for the person I came here for. See, whether I can reunite from the Elwood clan.
Okay. Yeah, you can take some time. You can talk to some people, and you can eventually kind of find them. They've rallied off kind of to one side of the camp, and they're gathering together there, sending some people out to go find the rest of their band and everything.
Do I find my niece in the group?
You do. She's standing right next to the keeper, just kind of waiting to see how she can help or when they're leaving, any of that. She seems a little lost.
Yeah, I'll just approach. Give her a big hug.
Uncle Adrian, did they get you too?
Thankfully not. That's how I was able to find you. And
Dad said you'd always find me if I got lost.
And I'm just gonna hold her and give her the toy that I've been holding on since the beginning of my journey.
What toy is it?
It's the Hala figurine that I've been carving along the way.
Oh, it's a Hala. Uncle, did I tell you I dreamed about one of these?
Did you?
It was a big golden one, and it kept saying that help was coming.
That's right. Met him.
You did?
But that's our little secret, is it?
Just our friend Hala.
We're gonna go back home soon. Just need to say a quick goodbye to companions.
Okay, you're gonna come with us?
I will.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna stay here and help the keeper. And she like runs back off over to the keeper and says, "Look at this Hala my uncle made for me," and is being very much a little kid about it.
Yeah.
That seems like a good place to leave you for right now. Asala, what are you doing in the aftermath?
Asala sort of, takes Mariana's hand, and seeing that Mariana is like sort of like as Mariana's going to find sister, just sort of waves off like, "I'm fine, thank you, I'm good." And I think she gets up and I think she goes over to the corpse of the elf seeker warden hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And rips off all the heraldic symbols that he wore on his belt. And she stuffs them in her pocket. And I think she takes like, I'm perhaps taking a bit too much narrative, whatever, but tell me if I'm being too much. I think she takes like the sort of side dagger that was just there, like just a knife that someone would carry. And takes that as well and makes her way up, sort of like puts her like sort of a job well done pat on Calix's shoulder, gives Valentina a big hug, like shakes hands with Atrian, sort of whatever, goes off. And I think she makes her way up and goes back to the temple with the Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that there's been sort of this infusion of magic, I don't think it's out, like she goes to the statue of the wolf that Calix communed with, and she sort of lays the dagger like where the offering, like where she thinks a person would put an offering, because she doesn't really probably know what to do, and pats the statue on the head.
The dagger vanishes. And the statue blinks at you.
I think she kind of smiles, and I think Asala really at this point like doesn't really know what to do. Like, she's kind of at this point like a Tevinter without a country, and I think she sort of finds, I don't know, I'm gonna again, like a person who probably was like some sort of courier or had been taken over as like a messenger, and gives them all of the money that Mariana gave, or like gives them like 5 gold or whatever is like a good amount of money, and dictates a letter to go back to the Imperium. And it just says, "Tell them Lady Asala has escorted Lord Valeth, and that all is well in Thedas once more. And then just sort of, I don't know, like I think it's sort of this bit would end where she doesn't really know what to do with herself at this point.
I love it. The person you find to be the courier is a younger elven woman who, when you dictate that note, she writes it all down, and she just looks at you, and her eyes go green for a moment. She just says, "Well done," in the tone of that old woman that you met under the tree. And she cocks her head a little bit and says, "Stick around. We may have need of you again."
Well, I can't imagine my homecoming would be particularly eventful, so I imagine I'll be doing just that.
Good. And the eyes fade, and the young woman's looking at you. Just anything else, madam? Okay. I'm going with one of the bands when they leave, and we'll get this delivered. Thank you, I guess.
She kind of smiles and like just goes to find wherever someone is making soup or bread or some food. She didn't lie when she said she skipped lunch.
Yeah, no, it's anyone there will feed anyone hungry. So eventually some of these bands are going to make camp in the area, and they'll have food going eventually. Calix, what do you do in the aftermath?
So I'm looking around for a certain red wolf that, made some promises in the Fade. If I was to deal with the prophet situation.
So you're looking around, and your eyes kind of go to the body of the warden, the prophet. And you feel someone step up next to you. And Solus is looking at it and looking at you and says, "Yeah, I think he's probably earned it." And he's talking down towards his feet. And you see the stone floor at the bottom of the hole kind of ripple a little bit, and the body sinks down. And this cairn of stone grows up over it. And Solus steps around and looks at you and goes, "The Titan will not let anyone disturb the warden's rest." You did better than I thought you would, Calix. The horse was kind of dumb, but good job.
It was maybe a bit indulgent, I will admit. So what did this serve to you?
I have my own plans for this world.
Oh, I know. And you've taken, I assume that the fact that I'm getting actual conversations meant that steering our group into this path, you wouldn't have done that personally, I assumed, unless dealing with this situation also checked a box for you in that direction. So I was curious what part of this was beneficial.
Well, let's see. I can't very well do what I want in the world if someone else goes and blows it up. I live here. It's where all my things are. But also, would you look at this? I've denied the Tevinter one of their strongest mages. I plucked a young woman from obscurity in a shop and set her on a path to reshape magic. I got a bunch of crows working together. I helped one of the greatest hunters that will ever be find his family. Sure seems like I'm racking up some favors here, don't you think? there's a lot of people that are gonna. He just kind of like walks. He's pacing now a little bit. There's a lot of people that aren't going to take too kindly to things that I want to do. That damn inquisitor is going to keep asking questions.
I think it's in the job description
Probably.
or the title, even.
No. I hear rumors
much
that
just the
the
word.
hero of Ferelden resurfaced in the Dark Road recently, helping some adventurers out. Someone's meddling with my alluvians. It seems only prudent that I maybe have some favors waiting in the wings, just in case.
And see, I'm starting now to feel like I'm a bad friend or teammate because you've used this to acquire a few favors from my associates. But to get us involved, you promised me one.
I did, didn't I? Now, don't think too harshly of yourself, Calix. You may have missed this in all the excitement, but my family was involved in this road too. I didn't act alone. I just saw more opportunities than they did. We're all playing our own games, Calix. You, Asala, Atrian, Mariana, Valentina, the Teventers, the Orlesians, the Inquisition. Everyone's playing their own games. Why should we not?
Yes, Calix is like dumbstruck because his mind just went to like next dimension where it's like now sorting everybody out by like, oh, which elven god chose you for dodgeball this game, and like trying to like sort all of our friends now out onto that matrix and to figure out what the hell they're choosing people for.
Solus like snaps in front of your face and says, Calix,
Yeah,
Calix.
it's just math gif in front of my face.
Don't get caught up in it. You'll
This
get
keeps-
involved one way or another, but I owe you a favor, don't I?
Yes, I didn't write down the exact thing, but I believe you had promised me I couldn't think of which questions to ask you. I had too many, and you promised to answer any questions that I had, I believe.
I did. Go say goodbye to your friends. And then once they've all left the temple, a new stairway will open. And there's an alluvian waiting for you down there. Whenever you're ready for answers, step on through. I'll be waiting.
Just stone face, trying to seem cool and collected in this conversation, not screaming. Trying to see who. Essentially, he's just not. Calix is now in an awkward chicken of who will break the silence first.
Solus just like smiles at you, shrugs, and vanishes.
I feel like that's cheating.
There's a whisper in your ear that goes, yeah, but you broke first. All right, where's Calix do after that?
I think he goes back to the group. You know what? I assume we're celebrating at some point, but then I think he's very much focused into like logistics now. Of like, okay, we need to move people out. The Darkspawn are still a threat. What do like future-wise magic with this site? What do we need to study now from like an archdemon horn blowing up and elf magic tree erupting, and also an archdemon was killed here. Like, this is gonna be a bad spot, I think, for a while. So I think he very much falls quickly into like logistics and planning phase, like busying himself with work.
Love it. All right, and Valentina, what does she do in the aftermath?
I think she'd be able to do this. Could she put on like a magic puppet type show?
Oh, for sure.
She's going to do that, and she's going to do the puppet show of what happened.
I
with
love
special
it.
effects.
That's amazing. All of the kids from all of the different bands start showing up for this. And eventually, like, their parents hear about it, and you're getting crowds every night for a while, for a good couple days.
So now everyone knows what happened, and they can see all the fun magic tricks.
That's amazing. So let's we're gonna roll ahead just about a week here while all the different bands are gathering up. This is probably about when everyone's starting to leave. Everyone's recovered their strength enough to head out and everything. So it's y'all's final time together as a group before everyone kind of does the walk off and goes their separate ways for now. What does this look like? I imagine y'all are probably back at the temple. It's a good central point for all this.
Valentina's going to be kind of lost because she doesn't know where to go. Like maybe she'll follow Calix because that's her buddy.
I wouldn't want. I think I need to. What I was going to discuss with the Sala and you was, I think I should stick around here for a bit. I want to organize a bit of what information we can glean about what's happened here magically before the Darkspawn take over and do whatever they're going to do with this area. So I'm going to follow shortly behind. I think you all should go ahead.
But I don't want to go back to the shop.
The world is a large place, Shem. You don't have to go back to the shop. Where would you like to go?
I don't know. I just got on the first boat I could find out. Maybe I don't need a plan. I can just go.
Sometimes just following your feet is the best destination.
And I guess I should not see if I can take that offer again.
What?
Oh yeah, that guy said that I could learn magic. Was it from a wolf? It's over the table. I can't remember.
Are you telling us that Fenharel offer you tutelage?
Yeah.
I've seen Stranger Things. I'm gonna end them like, pack of, provisions. That should keep you, sustained for a little bit whenever you go.
Thanks. This has been great. Learned a lot.
Should be going.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I'll step up next to Asala. There's probably a place in Antiva City if you want it.
I think Asala sort of like looks like a bit adrift and says, yeah, probably makes sense. I was given rather explicit instructions to remain in this area for a short time, but I imagine that if I were looking for a training regimen, perhaps I may make use of the services of the crows.
That's possible.
I'm
Make
hardly
your-
subtle, as we all know, but and
I mean, if your intention is to work with us, it's possible. And at the very least, I could train you, I'm sure.
I will certainly look you up when I end up back in the city, in a way as to arouse as little suspicion of your associates as possible.
I'll know when you make it to the city. Don't worry.
Excellent. Well, good luck. Stab swiftly.
Sure. We'll go with that. Take care.
Take care.
I'll make my way. Darachan, Falon. And if you make your way near the Arbor Wells, feel free to say hello. Just don't burn the place down.
I wouldn't dream of it. And I hope, Atrian, that one day I'm able to be there. Flame notwithstanding, of course.
You're probably the best Teventer I've ever met.
I appreciate that. Though you and I both know that is hardly a difficult line to cross. I am grateful to have been able to do so, in the least. And I imagine that I will take great joy in knowing that the Imperium will view both you and I with the same level of solemnity and respect. I will at least be in very good company.
On my way out, I will just, slap Calyx on the back. Try not to die. You're fun to be around.
Thank you. I'll do my best. But you've seen so far what my best is.
You're alive. Until I'm just gonna give her extra dessert food that we had snack off when we were in what was that city that we were in early in the campaign? I forget the name.
Antiva?
Oh yeah, Antiva, yeah. Because that is easy dailish food that we can easily make.
Solid. All right. With that, everyone kind of drifts away. And I think eventually it's just Astala and Calyx still in the temple.
I think Asala sort of has her things packed and has noticed that Calyx is, it's like when the parents are going away on vacation and the teenager who is inviting their crush over is yep, sure, yes, yep, homeowners insurance policy, fantastic, yep. And I think she sort of is dusting, she's sort of dusting off his coat and straightening all of the things, and she says, well, you don't have to, you don't have to share all of your knowledge of the city of the dead the first the first meeting, make them put in some effort. You come to this on an equal bearing. This is hardly, and she's sort of like giving like friendly advice and like, full of subtle and not so subtle innuendo about a romantic encounter. And then finally she says, I'm dawdling, I'm sorry. And puts her hands on Calix's shoulders and says, my greatest fear when you agreed to embark on this journey with me was that my actions would leave you without a home to return to. And while I cannot say this was exactly my intended end for you, an end for our journey, I know that this is the only thing you've ever wanted. And all I ask is that when you return from whatever it is you're going to do, you buy the most expensive bottle of wine you could afford and find a way to share it with me and tell me everything about it.
A few things. If anything, I'm sure it'll be harder to find you. I'm sure you'll get into much more trouble than I will for the time that I'm gone. And of course, I am certain that I will find a specific wine that is almost satisfactory. But I was never concerned. I had no fear with going on this trip with you. I think I realized it when I was communing with the Titan. It seemed surprised that the only thing I asked of it was to help against Dumat, that I didn't want to use its power for anything else. And it never had crossed my mind until it even mentioned it. And I think that is why I connected with you. Because you were the first Tevinter that I met that didn't view magic as something that could be taken and used as a commodity over people. So, when you agreed to go on this trip with me, I had no doubts of our success.
Well, I am so glad that we are able to stand here at the end of all of this in relatively one piece. Now, you have a friend waiting for you, and I won't keep you any longer. And I think with like one last sort of like adjustment to his hair, she sort of like shoves it back in the direction of whatever and grabs her things and gives like a wave over her shoulder as she walks out of the temple.
Oh yeah, Calix has given you the like, in case of my death, open this little letter, having no idea how this trip is gonna go.
All right, and Asala heads out, and Calix, as soon as Asala is out of the temple, the wolf statue walks out of the way, and a staircase opens up behind it.
Oh yeah, I'm going down some stairs. Let's take an Alluvian field trip.
Yeah, at the very bottom, there is a very small room with some torches lit in it, and an Alluvian that lights up.
I think I do pause for a second, just the rarity of these, and like appreciating an actual functional one in person for the first time. So I think I take like a good respectful minute just getting a sense of the magic around it, and then I just walk through.
And that's where we're going to close out our season. Thank y'all so much for coming on this journey with us. Thank you, everyone in chat, for sticking around for this extra long episode while we gave everyone a good send-off. We're going to go around and let everybody say what their favorite part was and where we can find them next. Anything else they want to promote? And again, thank y'all so much for hanging with us. We're going to start with Rafiki. Favorite part, where we can find you next. Anything else you want to promote?
So, where you can find me next will be Thursday on Jarkroot Challenge, where we will have, we're going to do the posting about that soon. Low stake one shot. Essentially, a love letter to things like What We Do in the Shadows. So, it's going to be what I can only describe as a improvised sitcom. That's what it's going to be. Should be a lot of fun. But other than that, I'm Freaky. I'm a streamer. When I don't do that, I do audio stuff. And I'm a semi-professional audio engineer as well. So if you need shit edited, let me know. Favorite part? Well, I think this whole season. Also, welcome in Raiders. Was my favorite part. The stories, the journey, the friends along the way. Because I didn't know any of these people before, this campaign. And I'm so thankful and glad that I was able to share the table every Tuesdays with this gang for like shenanigans and jokes and tornadoes and all that crap. That was amazing. So yeah, thank you everybody, and thank you very much, Matt, for putting up with our shit.
All right. Thank you so much, Rafiki. Next up, Icy Historian.
Oh man. Okay. So where you can find me next. Oh boy. So I am on the Categorically Insane podcast. We are going to be dropping our holiday episodes where we have taken down some of our not favorite, they were terrible, made for TV Christmas movies that follow along with some of the fabulous romantic tropes that we find in romance novels. That is dropping this week and next week for your holiday viewing pleasure. I'm also on I will be coming up in January. I am on the Overpriced Concessions podcast, talking about movies with some of my nearest and dearest friends. And every once in a while, I pop up on a bunch of different channels playing games. I hang out on Pat's channel. I could be here. Sometimes I'm over in the Coffee Nebula. And yeah, I am not particularly active on Twitter, but every now and again I do pop in. So feel free to give me a follow there at IC Historian. And man, so all of that was just me vamping until I could come up with a favorite part that wasn't totally a cop out. So I think I have to say my favorite part was rolling, I think, like the only critical success I've ever rolled ever, and milking it for approximately going on 2.5 hours of game time, which was fine. I love how I tried to take +3 to spell power and then never cast a spell again in the game. That was also great. I had a fun time with that one. But I think really in general, I have to echo my friend Rafiki, and I really enjoyed this for so much. I think, it's easy when you are playing a game in an established world to just sort of like play one of the established stories or like lean in very heavily on the things that we already know are there. And I think that one of my favorite things about this is that we use the foundations of Dragon Age as a foundation, but built our own world and our own story within it. And I think it was great hanging out with these characters every Tuesday as an incredible joy as we head into this Northern Hemisphere time of not a lot of sunlight. So it was great to have this to look forward to, and I am honored to have been at your table, Matt. It was nothing but a great joy to go on this journey with you, and I am humbled and overwhelmed at the incredible time I've had with these characters. Thank you so much for everything that you have given me, and I hope that we are able to play again together soon.
Heck yeah, thank you. Anna.
Hey, that's me. I'm definitely ready. Yeah, I played Mariana tonight and for the whole season, the trans and queer crow assassin slash spy who turned out to be really good at killing people. Favorite part tonight has to be somewhere between you allowing me to finish that contract mid-battle. I appreciated you rolling with that. Or getting to stab an archdemon to death. I don't know. That was also a lot of fun. But yeah, it's been so much fun being on the show this season and playing with all of you. Because yeah, for me as well, this is the first time I've played with any of you. And it's been amazing. And I really do hope that we all get to play together again in the future. And I'm sure that whatever game it is will be amazing because you're all amazing. But yeah, I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate museum. Oh yes, Nikki, I have played. Yes, sorry, your video was off, so when I was looking around the screen, I didn't see you. I apologize. I have played with Janie Potts before on a couple things, numerous things. Always great. But yeah, I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. Queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bunny. As the season winds down, you can still find me on Sundays, either on Gona_Hawking Twitch channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, playing Shifting Echoes, which is our 5e campaign set in a world of 1930s technology. We gave our DMs a small heart attack last session when we realized as a party that we could buy a car if we wanted to because it was the 30s and we had enough money. Yeah, so D&D in the 1930s can get quite interesting. Or on the Sundays when I'm not there, you can find me on Guild of the Phoenix playing Cyberpunk Red at 8 p.m. Eastern, playing a medtech, overworked and desperately trying to keep a party with a death wish alive. And if podcasts are more your thing, you can find me a Response Team Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast set in the No Room for a Wallflower adventure setting, following a PR team who ends up unexpectedly on the front lines. And I play Olivia, the team's manager, we'll go with, was the most upbeat and probably one of the only responsible ones on the team. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The best place, and you can find that anywhere you get your podcasts normally. The best place to see where and when I stream is on Twitter, so give me a follow there.
Awesome. And Pat.
Gosh, favorite parts tonight. God, there were so many moments that just like felt like they were just straight out of a movie between Mariana's first mage that she took down, where it was like, Matt, I need you to roll 3 different things for me. And it's like, no, stop, he's already dead. and then Asala just vaporizing a living chunk of an archdemon and setting up a magic nuke. It was just so many great little moments. And yeah, I loved getting to play and, meet, I think I'd gotten to play with half the cast before and getting to meet everybody. And I mean, man, just like the whole season and especially tonight's episode, the pacing is just fantastic. Like just whenever, there's a lull to a threat, something new presents itself, or it all just flowed together so well. And I don't know, I will just continue gushing all night about this season if I don't stop now. So I'm Pat. I'm Attactrick on Twitter and places, and yeah, just look there for when I have something new coming up because I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Awesome. And Nikki.
Hi, I played Valentina, the beginning mage who didn't really know stuff until she started. And it's been great playing with you all. I've played with most of you before. It's first time playing with Rafiki, and I'm so glad to get to play with you, and all of you. So thank you for the season and the game, and you're a great GM. And you all are great players too. Can't wait to play with y'all again. Did I ramble a lot?
No, not at all. where can people find you next?
Oh, I don't even know. Sorry, I've been like sick for the past several days.
Oh no.
I have a Twitter, JaniePot7575. I'll try to update on there when I'm on again.
Awesome. Well, I can tell you one place you're at because it's one of the next places you can find me. It's on Thursday night this week here on this channel for the finale of our Star Wars campaign for a little bit as we're taking next season off. So, yeah, you can find both myself and Nikki there on Thursday night. Thank you once again so much to everybody for playing and for watching. This whole party was amazing, and y'all rolled with my nonsense lore dumps and everything like freaking champions, and I really deeply appreciate that from y'all. Thank you so much. I do not think I can pick out a favorite point from this whole season, but building in a place where all of y'all can contribute to the final moment of tearing down the Prophet was just fantastic. So thank y'all for that. Like I said, you can find me on Thursday the Star Wars campaign here on this channel, and you can find me most Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings over on my Twitch channel, Fifth Draw Live. We're playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond right now. It's a lot of fun. And you can catch my podcast, Hard Reboot, where me and two friends take a public domain property and give it a fresh coat of paint. Or you can check out my Etsy store, Forge of Destiny, where I make things like this Keyblade or like that lightsaber. Check that out. And I'm going to kick this back over to Raven to tell you about our sponsors and close us out.
Awesome. That was amazing. Everybody did such a good job. I've thoroughly enjoyed producing and watching this show this season. Y'all are all so fantastic. We are going to go on a raid here very shortly. I'm going to say a few words about our sponsors first, though. Let me get those links into chat for everybody. So they are Fundamental RPG. It is a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so it's very easy to use that for anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. And as one of our casts likes to say, the fun is free with every purchase. You can pick that up on Amazon, or if you prefer a PDF, a digital version, you can pick that up at ko-fi.com/raven. The ko-fi.com version of coffee. Yeah, it's a great system. I highly recommend it. Also go check out Die Hard Dice at dieharddice.com. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. And if you use the code Animus, normally it's 10% off, but up until December 20th, you can get 15% off. If you use the code Animus with a capital A. I highly recommend checking out the Avalor Lifeblood set. It is, well, first of all, the Avalor design is just gorgeous. It's got some really distinct edges, especially on the D4 and the D6, that just make it really unique. And the Issa or Isa Lifeblood set has sort of a crystal clear die with red numbers. It's very pretty. There is a link straight to that there in chat. And then if you want to catch up on what's happened previously in this show or catch up on any other shows that we've had on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network, or you can head over to our YouTube channel where we have all of our past broadcasts there as well. Just go to YouTube, search for Black Feather Guild. It should be the first thing to pop up. You'll also want to make sure to subscribe because next season, starting in January, we'll have 2 YouTube exclusive streams, an Avatar The Last Airbender campaign and a surreal horror game called Welcome to Madison that we're going to do a second campaign of. It's really, really good. So make sure you subscribe so you'll see the notifications for that. And then I think that was everything. What's coming up next for Black Feather Guild this week? Thursday at 6 p.m., as mentioned, is the finale for Elite Viveskar for the season, and it's going to be very intense. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening with Jedi and Sith and Mandalorians and giant fleets of capital ships and stuff. It's sort of all coming to a head. So you won't want to miss that. It's going to be a good one, and it's going to be the season finale. And we're taking a break next season from that show, so it'll definitely be one that you don't want to miss. And I think that is everything. So we're going to go rate Nerdsmith over at We Are Nerdsmith. It's a fantastic channel with a whole bunch of really amazing people. I highly recommend following them. And then I will see you all on Thursday. Bye, everybody.